Every question brings the Lightbringers closer to the answer, but the full truth can only be revealed by the God of Black Glass.
Hey, welcome to Worlds Apart. We are going to get right into it as we return to the Dark World Party with Kat as Krauna, Kiku as Tico, and Jenna as a Saranon. And.
Big and.
Previously on Worlds Apart.
Ampersand.
Worlds and Apart.
Go on.
Previously on Worlds Apart, you departed from the war camp of the Iron Shadow. You saw Magpie's dad off, and you ultimately decided that the best direction for you to go now would be towards the city called the Ruby Eyrie. And Magpie agreed, and she wanted to look there for her missing mother. On the night before you left, you did some investigation of the camp. You went down to the shore of the ocean, and you saw that in the distance, north of you in the land of Kylumbra, there was a tall, glowing red beacon, like a tower or a lighthouse or a spire of some sort, that pointed upwards at the red sun that hangs eternally in the sky of Tenebrae. You were never able to get a very good look at it, but you decided to check it out later. On the road, as you traveled to the Ruby Eyrie, you were ambushed by the priest of Narrowgall named Vril Reskus. He brought some dead bodies back to life. They threw some magic darts at you, and Tico dangled from a cliff while fighting him.
Oh yeah.
It's very brave. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. Totally intentional.
You managed to stave off his ambush and basically, killed him. But before he died, he revealed to you a pretty important piece of information, and it's that 3 of the dead gods here in Tenebrae are actually alive in a certain capacity. The god Narrowgall lives as a demon known as Orcus. The goddess Kieva lives in sort of a partial state where she keeps a terrible storm from coming free and eating the land. And the god Elo is powering the red sun that hangs in the sky. And so something about that red tower in Kylumbra is linked directly to Elo's power.
You saw that. I have written down that the tower is Elo's body.
Yeah. Yes.
He's a brick house. Tower, I guess.
Sacrilege. And with this information, you decided to, I think you just straight up killed him after that point.
He tried to tell us something, and then his
Yes.
neck just
Oh
he
yeah.
died.
He had a piece of information more for you, but something prevented him from telling it to you. Oh, no, he did say it.
Something about a just thought soul.
Yes, is that the storm was made up of one large soul that was comprised of many smaller ones.
A large soul.
Big old soul. Like having a big heart.
An enlarged soul.
The Grinch runs it.
Big soul.
They say that his soul grew 3 sizes that day.
And then destroy
And
the
just,
world.
yeah, devour the world.
I'm sorry.
With that information in mind, you traveled towards the Ruby Eyrie. You stopped at a few locations along the way to re-up your supply of food. And when you arrived in the city, Valorith led you into its gates, and you saw that a red light suffused the streets of the city, and that all the people on the streets were moving in a unnatural way. There were dragonborn whose scales seemed to be made out of stones, gemstones. And there were people who seemed to be under some kind of thrall, who moved in time, all headed towards the palace that loomed over the city. Valorith took you into a dark alley, went down a couple of side streets, and eventually brought you to a door and knocked in a specific pattern and let you in. And you could see the shapes of people and eyes in the darkness as you were welcomed in. And that's where we pick up.
So, Valorith, you going to tell us who your friends are?
Valorith looks over to you and grits her teeth and says, they'll introduce themselves to you.
So we see eyes in the dark, like are they glowing?
We
Is
look
it like cat eyes reflecting
It's
the
the
light?
cast of cats, yeah.
Oh no, Valorith, get her back!
Valorith.
Rum-tum Powder's here, we gotta go.
All alone in the
Turns out Valorith is a theater kid.
I mean,
That's
this
not-
whole
As if
city,
you
they're all
couldn't
walking in
tell.
time. It's a posse thing.
Oh God.
When you're a vamp all the way. From your first sip of blood.
To your undying day.
Yeah!
Oh, good improv,
Alright.
good improv.
We're really showing our entire ass right now.
I don't
This isn't
Theater
being
degree.
I'm not part of
speak
this.
for
Tiny
yourselves.
dab.
Yourselves.
I'm sorry, was that windshield wiper a tiny dab? Is
Tiny
what you
dab,
said?
yeah. Tiny dab.
Are all cars dabbing?
Constantly.
Okay, sorry, continue.
You look deeper into the room, and there is a candle flickering in a sconce on the wall. It seems to be glinting off of these vague silhouettes and eyes that you can see in here.
Damn, people live like this.
Zing, doing Tico.
Please don't tell anyone how I live. And as you look closer and your eyes become accustomed to the darkness, you can see that the people in here are little more than wispy shadows, specters almost.
I really thought you were going to say little moles. I got so excited.
Little mole!
This is my army of moles.
We're gonna tunnel under her castle. We're gonna tear down the foundation of this
down.
city.
Can I make a perception check on these people? Actually,
You have proficiency with ghosts, because you kicked one one time.
I did not kick it. I never ever
You
did.
really
Chico
tried.
I really
had a very
never
hard
did.
time with
I
the
think
ghost
I actually
ones.
might have anti-proficiency. I think ghosts have.
Unproficiency.
Yeah, I don't know what the word is.
Go ahead and make that perception check.
I'm actually going to be looking at the room. I think Chico's more room focused about like what the room is like and what the exits are.
Sure.
Oh, I don't know why I rolled 2, but they were the exact same.
Whoa.
It's incredible. 6.
You're gonna tell me like 19.
No.
That's why we're rolling these dice.
Sorry, they were both 6, literally.
What do you add to that?
Oh, 3.
Okay. 9. It's a dark room. There's
Oh
like
no,
one.
4. Sorry.
Ooh.
10. What does that change?
An entire 10.
Still
It
a
changes
dark
a little bit, actually.
Yeah, actually 10 is a good
yeah,
number.
it's a nice round number there. You look about the room, and yes, it is a darkened room. There's only one candle lighting here, but it looks like this was once an underground bar or cafe. There's a lot of
Speakeasy.
tables around here. Yeah, speakeasy-like. And all of the people in this room, all these spectral people, are sitting at chairs as if they're patrons of this establishment.
Okay.
And Valorith says, "Go on in. They won't bite."
I'm already inside.
Cool. She goes, "What the?"
What are they?
They're lingering.
What? That's. What?
Is this like a ghost thing? Like they're dead but not quite dead yet thing?
They're the dispossessed. Come in. I'll tell you about it.
Okie dokie.
Okay, shut the door behind you.
I like just the bouncer, just kind of hovering in front of the door.
And you close the door behind everyone. Yeah. And Valorith is going to take a little rock from her pack, and she's going to hold it in her hand until you can see tiny, faint beams of light beginning to poke out from her, in between her fingers. She sets the now glowing stone down on one of the tables. And she says to you, these people are what's left of people who had a challenging time of devilish possession. Lady Carnelian got her powers by consorting with the devils of Kailumbra, and many of her people thought that it was the only way to survive in this place.
So what happened?
They weren't strong enough to resist it. And when the spirit of the devil entered their body, their own soul was dispossessed, and they linger here now, going through the actions that they were accustomed to in life.
So, are their bodies still sort of out there, and these are just their souls
That's correct.
And these are,
showing out here?
your friends?
In a city like this, they're the closest things you have to friends.
And where are their bodies now?
Some of them are walking the streets. You saw them. Some of them are in my prison. They're a bit too rowdy.
Jeez.
And some of them are in Kailumbra. Some of them returned to their home.
But they have no souls.
But they are merely a puppet for the devil that is controlling them.
Right.
Ugh.
Do the devils not have their own bodies?
Some do. Exceptionally powerful ones do.
Like your dad.
Sure.
But the weaker ones, the ones who want to climb the ladder in their infernal hierarchy, need to find a host. So they will manifest as spirits before people that they think will be useful to them.
Can we speak with the dispossessed?
You can try.
Well, I was wondering if we speak with them and make a truce, if we are able to track down the body that matches the soul and remove the devil from it, we have an ally.
You know, I hadn't even considered that before.
Yes.
It's possible. Absolutely.
Interesting. I want to do a perception check on the crowd and see if anyone has any, like, priest robes on.
Absolutely.
Which one's gonna roll good for me today? That'll do.
That'll do,
perception,
Dad.
non-nat 20.
Nice. Ooh. So the people in this room are generally paying little heed to you right now. They have kind of a track that they're following, it seems like. There are some that seem a little bit out of sync. One of them has gone up to the bar and is like talking to thin air as if there was once a spirit of a bartender there. They pick up a glass that doesn't exist and walk back to their table and begin to basically mime their gestures. Most of these people seem to be fairly working class. People of all species are here: humans, half elves. There's a couple of dragonborn. As far as priests go, yeah, there is a table in a corner of the room, kind of across the bar from you, that has 3 people in priestly vestments. And you can see it's pretty obvious what faith they follow. There is an Ouroboros symbol, 2 serpentine dragons chasing each other. Identical, actually, to the symbol that you took off Valorith.
The snake that blows itself.
Valorith gives you a big stink eye.
Anyway, Valorith, have you ever attempted to speak with any of these?
For the most part, they don't pay any mind. But you're a cleric of the grave. You have a particular connection to spirits. They might talk to you.
That's true, but the ones I'm looking at, the priests in the corner, they are of your faith.
Yes, yes.
I wonder if that would tie them closer to you.
We can try it together.
Yes.
You two should probably stick close just in case.
All right.
Don't let the ghost get you.
Oh, be nice to him. Boo!
Didn't even scare me.
Ooh, big man. Krana wants to find a ghost to talk to too.
Okay.
Actually, can I ask one more question about
Yeah.
it? Who was listening to you knock? Like, when we had to do a special knock? If none of these people are, like, here, why do you have to do a special knock?
I don't know. I've always done it. The door is locked if you
Honey,
don't.
I'm home.
Lucy! the door is locked if you don't do it.
Arcana check on
Yeah, that is very interesting. Let me see what my Arcana check is. Okay. Not good.
Oh, no.
8.
Doors, the enemy of adventurers.
I'm gonna look at the door very intently and kind of do the thing where I like trace it around, and I go back to Teak and I go, it's magic.
Sarah thinks there's like a Pirates of the Caribbean situation going on with this door. It's like clearly there's someone in the door.
Oh, what?
What? Yeah, can you explain
Oh,
that?
like a
Like-
barnacle.
yeah, like
or
in-
whatever
like in the boat.
Oh,
How
so-
recently have you watched this movie?
Are there like there's like people that grow into the Davy Jones boat
Yeah,
in
like
Pirates,
Will's
right?
dad.
At all. I don't remember.
My
any of
childhood
this.
best friend watched these movies over and over.
Oh my
so
God. You
mean you
I
don't-
vaguely remember these scenes.
No, I can't.
What?
What's my folder?
Don't pull him out. We don't want to look at his
We don't wanna
face.
look at
I covered his face with a sticker.
I'll look at Orlando Bloom's beautiful,
It's
beautiful
got the
face.
yarning podal.
Bring it in, fellas.
Okay, so that's weird. That's a weird thing that you do.
Thanks. Magpie is like moving her hand through a ghost's head.
Oh, leave him alone.
He doesn't even notice.
It's rude.
I'm gonna go up to
Probably.
the ghost that Magpie is
Drop
moving
kicking.
through. Yeah.
Beheading.
And as you go up there, the ghost actually like swipes at her, and she's like ah, and she looks over at all of you and is like, mm-mm.
What did I say?
Gotta come up and some.
Instant karma. So these priests of Loten Ratu in the corner.
That's what the name was.
Yes.
I forgot.
Oh my gosh, last Life World session.
It was 117. Nope, I know
What?
numbers. 127:19. That was our last session,
Oh yeah,
and I do not remember.
that was a long. Holy shit.
That was 2 months ago.
That was
Wow.
2 months ago.
Yep.
What?
It's been a hot minute, huh?
Nice
So
stripes.
Loten Ratu.
Yes,
Fill
priest
me
of
in.
Loten Ratu. So you head over to the priests with the dual dragons on them, and you approach, and they go about their business. They have their holy symbols on the table, and they have a big tome open, huge volume, and some of them have several scrolls, and it looks like this book has been filled with all sorts of additional pages that have been stuffed in, and one of them has a very elaborate eagle feather quill pen, and is dipping it in an inkwell and drawing new, very elaborate curly letters in the book.
Okay.
And it's script you recognize, actually.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Girl, what? Do I have to do a perception check, or will you just tell me?
I'll tell you the gist of it. It's relatively unimportant. It's like liturgical text.
Well, if I can read it.
It's like they're writing like a hymn. There's musical bards here and stuff
But can
like
I
that.
read the actual words?
Yeah, but your DM doesn't know what the words are.
But it's
in
but
our
we
language.
it's in our language,
Yeah.
not.
That's
or-
correct.
Exciting.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see, what kind of Jesus stuff do I have on me?
The wrestler?
Yeah, I've got a action figure. I've got a block of incense. Okay. I'm gonna...
Just gonna light up in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn to Valorith and I'm gonna say, in order to do this, do you see the holy symbols on the table? Yes?
I'm well aware that you still have mine.
I'm prepared to give it to you in
No.
order to talk to them.
You're not here.
But only
Back on
briefly.
playing rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
You've earned my trust this far. Do not fuck me.
If you say so.
Yes?
If you say so.
Okay, I'm gonna do a fucking insight check just real quick. 8.
She's holding back a laugh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna dig it out. I'm gonna hand it to her. And then I'm gonna set up my little incense thing and kind of light up and say, put it down and say, "Hello, brothers. May we join you?"
So you light this stick of incense, you put it in a little container, and the smoke begins to spiral around the table. And so you both sit down around the table now? Or are you standing?
I'm kind of waiting at the edge of the table, like hands on the edge.
I think Valorith is doing the same.
Okay.
You, like, tower over her, so she's kind of like standing in your shadow, basically.
Okay.
And as this incense smoke begins to waft around the table, you do catch their attention, and they look up. One is a dragonborn of indeterminate scale color. One is a dwarf with a big, bushy beard and teeny tiny pince-nez glasses. And one is a human woman, very old, sort of grandma, silver hair. And they all, one by one, look up as they're drawn to you by this smoke. And they say things in turn to you. The old grandma looks at you first and says, "Oh, that's a very fine smell." And the dwarf says, "Liturgical incense. Been a while since I've scented that." And the dragonborn says, "Yes. It's Nerugalian, if I assume correctly. Who's lit it?"
"'Twas me." What? Hold on.
Does Nerugalian incense smell like
Yeah.
dead people?
It,
Certain mix of herbs.
No, actually, yeah, it's probably like fresh soil
like
and
grave
like
soil.
yeah,
Mm.
like
Mhm.
mushrooms.
Smells like rocks.
probably has like kind of a mossy
Okay,
scent
okay,
to
okay,
it.
I get that now. It's like, ooh, does
Smells-
Catholic incense smell different?
Smells dank.
Lit up some kush.
Who's lit?
I'm gonna hotbox this
Who
fucking
is
place.
lit around here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, hail and well met.
My dude,
Yeah.
Inhale and well met.
Ah.
don't inhale the incense.
What else is it for?
Well,
It's like Pocky. Crunch? What does he say to me?
he looks at you like he's peering through smoke, and after a fashion he is. And as these spirits they're silvery, but the room is cast in this deep red glow, so they remind you a great deal of those crimson ghosts that Valorith summoned when you first fought her, that Tico tried his best
You
to
know what?
fight.
I have to bring it up all the time.
But unlike those spirits which Valorith summoned out of like a sanguinite stone, these spirits actually look like they did in life. They're not these decrepit, wretched things. And so this dragonborn looks at you, and as you look through the smoke, you can see a little bit of like real life color through the smoke. And he says, "How long have you been here?"
Only briefly. We came in for a respite from a long journey.
It's so strange. I haven't seen anyone new in this tavern for I don't know how long.
Well, it can probably seem very same in, same out when you are working on your texts. It has happened to me before, you get caught up in it, and the passage of time doesn't seem to be as strict and linear.
He looks down at Valorith, who's next to you, and says, I remember her.
Well, no.
Oh no.
She's not with us.
You're not here.
Have you? Are you two dealing with your own ghost, or have you come over to this table while this action is happening?
Are there any tieflings in this room?
Yeah,
Can I find a tiefling to go talk to?
absolutely. You head over there. What's Tico up to?
Tigo is watching.
Okay.
And commenting.
Chilling.
Yeah. He's not like super comfortable with ghosts for no discernible reason.
I'll get to Crona's conversation in a hot sec.
They're just not that kickable. I might be able to kick it if I'm gonna trust it.
If I can't kick it, I can't interact with it.
Can't kick, can't trust. 2 rules of life.
Ciao.
Yeah, so I'll get to Crona's conversation in a sec.
Okay.
And yeah, you see a shadow pass over this Dragonborn's face as he looks over at Valorant. Then he looks back up to you and says, but that's neither here nor there. A traveler.
Yes.
Dare I ask where you've come from and what your business is?
Oh, it is rather a small town. I don't think you would have heard of it. It's down south.
That's fine.
But I couldn't help but notice the music you are working on. I don't know if I know that hymn.
I suppose that we 3 have been writing it for a very long time. I feel like I haven't made any progress on it in ages.
Yes, art is like that sometimes, I once worked on an illustrated manuscript for, it felt like years, but it was only a week. Sometimes you just got to take your head up and talk to a stranger.
Really good advice.
Make a persuasion check. You're so charming.
Persuasion? Oh, I've got a 0 in that. A 10.
Okay. And he looks up at you and cocks a ridged eyebrow. Interesting. You never said what you were doing here. Your business.
Oh, we are...
What brings you to Arvix?
We are looking for...
Wait.
Family.
He said Arvix.
Arvix? Ooh! Arvix! I didn't even catch that! This is a whole conversation we're having.
Tiga's like, wait!
Tigo's literally like your, I don't know, like behind the scenes guy. You're like,
What? Arvix? Mr. President! You're my CJ.
yes.
Arvix, yes, well...
You are in this city, yes.
Yes. Sorry, we've been to so many in the past few days, it is hard to keep track sometimes. We are looking for family. We heard that one of our travel members' mother may be here, and she has been lost.
He looks at you for a very long time.
Okay.
He leans in and he rubs his eyes.
Would you like me to shed some light, brother? And I cast Sacred Flame and just kind of have it hovering.
He nods and he leans back a little bit from the flame. You see that this flame reflects on bronze scales. You don't recognize a Dragonborn like this. The only one that you've had direct contact with, in this campaign anyway, is Silver Scale, who is the Oracle of Lotan Ratu.
But it's not like a gemstone.
No, it's a metal scales.
Interesting.
Am I allowed to interject?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just hovering. Have you heard of Ruby Irie?
I've heard of the Irie. It's where the Wildfeather halflings live, outside the city.
Do we know that?
The Light World Party does.
Yeah.
Okay.
They like ride eagles and shit, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
No,
Crown
that's
yeah.
well-known Auredanian stuff.
Okay.
But not Ruby Irie.
Can't
It's
say.
a tavern we're looking for. We weren't sure if it was in this city or another.
Make a deception check.
I lie.
Is that so?
4. I know what bars are. I'm a woman of the cloth.
It's okay, we don't have to lie. Ruby is our friend that we're looking for.
You make a deception check.
You have proficiency in this, hopefully.
Mind you.
Deception +1, +1, not bad.
Hey, 19.
There we go.
He looks at you and he looks back to his Saranon and he says, "Sister, there's no need to lie here."
I thought it was a delicate matter. I wasn't sure.
Well, if they're gonna help us find her,
That's
then.
fair.
A half-orc priestess of Nergal with fiery red hair.
I have my hair covered.
Oh.
Remember, we're all in disguises.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
Oh, I think I still have my hood up. You can't even see me.
Oh, okay.
Where's that voice coming from?
Oh, yeah. Tico is totally out of eyesight for this guy. The smoke is not around him.
Yeah,
Friend
he's,
Even
Ruby?
at
Okay.
he's just yelling into
What?
the voice. He's like using Sarah as a puppet, like, throwing his voice.
He. Okay. If you can't see your hair.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, he says a half-orc priestess of Nergal coming here on a mission. Coming here on a sweet chopper.
Load up, bitches! It's death time. What if Sarah had a southern accent?
That'd be
I
fun.
would love that.
That would be
Yeah.
very fun.
Oh man, that would be good.
Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
I actually feel like Nergal having like a Southern Baptist, like,
Yeah,
that
like
would be
Southern
very
Gothic
cool.
vibe.
That would be
Yeah.
very cool.
Can we just
actually.
revamp the entire?
Alright.
It's too late to retcon. All right, let's get both tables back in. Oh,
So what you
man.
got here is a case of
Sarah.
classic southern identity.
Okay.
Sarah's got a split personality.
This one's partying.
It seems that Nergal himself is speaking through my voice.
This is Orcus on the horn.
Orcus canonically has a southern accent.
You have to commit to that now.
I have to
Yes,
commit to this
please,
now.
actually, that's-
All of this is getting cut, but I'm committing to that
I always
anyway.
say that, and then I go back and watch the video, and I'm like, oh
think
god, he
nothing's
left it in.
Okay.
That's survivorship bias there.
Okay.
Okay. How many are you traveling with? Oh no, now he's got a southern accent. How many are you traveling with?
Well, you, me, Prana, Valerie, Magpie. Is that it? I think that's it. I think 5?
Did I catch your name, sister?
Oh, I'm Sister Saren, and I don't think I got yours either.
And he takes your hand and shakes it.
Whoa.
Psychic shake. and he says, I am a servant of the Order of the Dragon God. I am Sergeant Brazen Gaze.
Whoa.
Sergeant. Brazen.
Gaze.
That's tight as shit, dude.
That Gaze or Gays?
Yes. I know many Brazen Gaze though.
Yeehaw.
Would it surprise you to learn that I believe I met your friends not long ago?
My friends.
They were here in Arvix.
No, they did tell us that they would meet us.
3 of them,
Yes.
though one of the ones I was expecting was not with them. The elf was not traveling with them.
Are they all right?
They spoke, the other Lightbringers, with His Excellency, Ricard Silverscale.
Silverscale. Is Silverscale all right?
And he is lost in thought for a moment, trying to penetrate a foggy mind. I don't know. It
Oh,
feels
he's
like
dead.
it's been so long since I've seen him.
Did someone still die?
No,
No, it was
someone
the
still
French.
was very
it was the
alive.
French guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. French guy
French
died.
dude.
Never
Can't
mind.
even remember his name. Who cares? He's dead now.
It is good to hear from them. We've not seen them in a while. We were hoping to meet up in the city.
Did they leave?
Are you invisible?
That's a joke.
He hears like a voice.
He has the hood is down. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't recall. I lost track of them after I sent them to the general.
They must be here somewhere. I thought we told them we were going to meet them
Yes, they must have gotten here before us.
Yes, I met them on the way into the city. And I sent them to a tavern. And from there they met with the general. And from there, I don't know, they planned with him. The scaled citadel. The palace here in Arvix.
Oh, God.
That's
yeah,
where they
of course,
went.
Of course. And after that, did you meet anybody? Like, what's your last memory?
I recall meeting up with my companions here, and he gestures to the other priestly ghosts, and we came down to the tavern to write this melody. And I think we've been here ever since.
May I look at the music?
Absolutely. And he turns the book towards you, and I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Dex save? No, I am. No flex, no dex. 13.
Okay. You look at the book as he turns it towards you, and you see this beautiful flowing script. You see the bars of music, and it seems to be a hymn that sings the glories of Lotan Ratu and the great battles that he has won for the people of Auredane. And as you look at it, the script begins to swim on the page and move like smoke billowing out of a fire. And as all of this happens, you see the script itself begin to flicker like flames, and then fire jumps out at you from the page.
Oh dear.
And you try and jump back and avoid it, but the flames lick at your hands, and you're going to be taking 9 fire damage.
Whoa! Do we see this?
Yeah, oh yeah. Crowner,
Oh, I
you're in the
was
middle of a
already
talk
down
with this
16
tiefling,
HP for
and you like, huh? And you see this big jet of flame burst out of the book.
I'm gonna take out my dagger.
Okay.
Fight the fire.
You're gonna stab the book?
No, I'm suspicious of this priest now.
He doesn't even seem to have noticed that this has happened.
Okay.
I can't. So I have that, and I kind of hold it and I go, I've never seen music like this before.
this song's
No deception check required.
It's terribly unfinished. I'm sorry. You have to look upon a work in progress.
Well, it certainly affected me.
What did you do to the boy? What did he do? Are you okay?
I think they are from our original world, and I think that somehow the barrier is allowing us to speak through the words, but I cannot look at the text.
Oh.
It is. Maybe you can try, but I don't want you to get hurt either.
Valereth puts her hand on like your forearm, reaching up,
Yes.
and she says, "That text, that's infernal script, Saranon.
Oh, I don't see that.
There's some." I was
Well, you
worried
do.
when you saw priests in this bar. Like, these are spirits of people who have had bad experiences with devils. I don't know what happened to these people, but it's not good.
whatever happened to them must have been recent, because they are speaking of our companions from our home.
And they don't remember having any consorting with devils.
I don't think they do.
How, if they were taken away from their bodies by Lady Carnelian, how did she go into our world?
But, well, we have devils in our world as well, so maybe, regardless of which world they are possessed in, the spirit goes here, like some sort of depository. Yes, just like a child's piggy bank. The pig that you keep your money in on the farm?
Oh my god!
What money?
Yeah, the paper money that you feed your pigs!
Yes, you roll it up and you stick it in and then you wait.
Oh god.
You were having your pigs smoke a
No,
dollar
they don't
bill
smoke it, they eat
blunt.
it.
Is this what vaping is?
Anyway.
As this is happening, Crown Eye has headed over to another patron of this bar.
Yes.
This person is a tiefling with a male tiefling with a very pronounced ridge starting here at the like middle of their nose and going up across the entire forehead until you get to it separates into two horns that just goes straight up for about 6 inches.
Okay, cool. Not as impressive as my horns, but you know, can't all have a crown. Hey, what's up? Doing all right there?
The guy doesn't notice you.
I sort of step in front of him a bit, like, hey, you been consorting with devils? Hello?
And so at this point, you've got in front of him, and he moves over towards the table. Like, you push his chair back a little bit, and he moves over towards the table to mime at grabbing a cup, and his arm passes through you, and you feel this chill sensation.
Okay, this has happened too many times while I've been here. Hello? Could I get a name? My name is Crown Glory Fortune Hallelujah.
Ah!
My favorite wrestler?
Where did you come from?
Hello. I've been here. You know, it helps, pays to pay attention to your surroundings. What's your name?
I'm Rex.
Rex. Good name. Good Christian name. How you doing?
I'm fine. I was having a drink. How did you get here?
Well, I came in also for a drink, as you do in bars.
Yeah.
Could we have a little bit of a talk?
You hitting on me?
Absolutely not. Want to make that very clear right now. No world ever will that happen, or is that happening?
You are charming. Oh my god.
Thank you. I know that. So you've been consorting with devils.
Huh?
You making deals with devils. Has that been a thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you saying this to me?
Because you're sort of, and I stick my hand through his shoulder.
Ah!
You're sort of wispy.
How the hell are you doing that? Doing your arm all wispy and such.
Oh.
Your arm is the same as it ever was.
No, you're wispy. You're wispy.
This is just the others.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman is here.
You're wispy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, see, this is happening. Well, see, I think you're wispy, and you think I'm wispy. But whatever is happening over here is, because you made a deal with the devil, and I kind of want to know why, and why that ended so bad for you.
You gotta tell me one thing first. How the hell did you know?
Because, my friend over there told me. Hi, Valorith.
We're busy getting shot at by fire.
It's like, ooh.
Yeah, this is the point where you turn around. There's like,
You don't care at all.
Yeah, I'm
Seems like priest stuff.
it's like, all right. The incense getting a little wild over there. Everyone else seems fine. Yeah, well, first of all, my friend Valorith over there told me, and like I said, you're all incorporeal and such. From my point of view anyway, because you've been forced out of your body, you have no form anymore. Sorry to break it to you like this if you've kind of forgotten.
Yikes.
Poor Rex.
Okay, so let's say for the sake of argument that I am incorporeal, and that I have been talking with devils and bad shit like that.
Seedy sorts.
You want to know why? You want to know a motive? You want to know where, who, what, when, and how?
Yeah, all of that. Anything that makes for a good story.
Huh. Alright. Alright.
Alright, I'll tell you everything.
My name better not be attached to the story, alright? Go sing it somewhere.
Sure, we can collaborate on a song. Sort of pluck a few strings on sudden death.
Dum, 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 dum.
This is the story of Rex. He fucked up real bad.
No, you weren't supposed to use his real name.
Oh, this is the story of Dex.
The loud sensor noise over his voice. How are you doing that with a string?
It's dissonant whispers.
Doing.
This is the story of Bo.
Bone?
Bone? Come on.
We're off base.
Get on with the story.
So this whole story all started in a little place called Reclamation's Pride.
Oh.
You heard of it? The city down south.
Yeah,
a
great
little.
parties.
Yeah.
Love going there.
I made friends with an eagle rider up in the Eyrie.
Alright.
Mountain sort of turns around. Well, one of these directions.
Yeah, it's fine.
And he was real sweet, you know. So I decided, well, let's check out the mountain, see what life is like up there. So we flew over there, midst of the war, you know. Bad stuff is happening all over the place.
They're risky.
Yeah, Broadfurrow's got a giant bird. Hobgoblins are everywhere.
I love Brokeback Mountain.
And see, the thing that my friend never told me was that the Eyrie, big, you know, halfling ancestral homeland. You know, they have their caves all built into the mountainside. But what I never heard before is that the caves actually go right deep, some of them, right into the roots of the mountain. And that they've been fighting monsters down in the roots of the mountain for an awful long time. And they're not doing so hot.
Alright, so your new home's not, your new home is not what it was advertised to be, then what?
Not as advertised is absolutely right. I did my best to get out of there right quick. Shame. He was a nice dude, too.
That's what you get for getting attached to the wrong people.
They're in love.
I made my way back to Reclamation's Pride. All that, about a year ago. And what ultimately ended up happening was I met a lady in Reclamation's Pride who said she could help me out. I wanted to, a sorceress of some sort, and I wanted to get my my home back, or, you know, wanted to help out the sweet halfling I met the other year. And we spent some time figuring out a plan of attack. And so this sorceress and I gathered up a group of folks some tieflings from Reclamation's Pride, some travelers we met along the road, all people who were sympathetic to the cause. We even picked up some of the Order of the Dragon God here in town. We decided to, you know what, let's do it. Let's take back the Eyrie. Make sure all those caves are spick and span. And it turns out that that fight was harder than we thought it'd be. The halflings had been doing their best for a while, and it turns out that they knew the tunnels. They had a home field advantage. And we didn't know the tunnels for shit. Monsters did, though. We found ourselves in a real pickle real quick. The friend who'd helped me organize all of this, she said that there was a way to fix it all. She knew of someone. She knew of someone, some magic power we could call upon. And so Ruby and I, she decided to...
Her name was Ruby?
That's what she called herself.
That wasn't a lie. We are looking for Ruby.
She and I called upon this mystical power, and, well, we saved the day. And we had all the firepower we needed to just burn those monsters crawling up from the depths. How they got down there, I'll never know. I decided it was best not to go down and figure it out.
Would you say it was literal firepower?
Oh, absolutely. You came here knowing I came consorting with devils, didn't you?
Oh,
I don't
yep.
need to be too on the nose.
Sure. Got it. Keep things subtle.
Yeah, well, anyway, as far as I'm aware, Miss Ruby's still here in town. Still here in Arvex. I don't think she's left. We saved the Eyrie. Everything was good once we made that deal. So we came back here to Arvex, and now I'm drinking.
I see. Happy ending for everyone then, huh?
It seems like it.
All right.
That sweet halfling made it out all right. He's back at my place.
Okay, that's wonderful. Where would you say we could find Ruby? He says she was still in town.
Yeah, she's still in town. I don't know what the name, what the address of her flat was, but I know she spent some time. Well, you know, she went and visited the general a couple of times. She said that she had important diplomatic information.
Okay, the general up at the palace, right?
Yeah, Scaled Citadel, I think it's called.
Yeah, all right. That's wonderful. So it sounds like this sort of deal with the devil was to everyone's advantage. What did the devil get?
Well, if you're telling me I'm ethereal, then it seems as though he got what he wanted. A bit unfortunate. I don't seem to be ethereal.
Well, it's all about self-perception, you know. If you feel all right about your body, that's all that matters.
Queer Eye Season 4.
Listen, Krona is part of the Fab Five.
Crown would be tan.
Queer Eye for the incorporeal
Yeah, you're right.
guy.
You're right. So I think that devil's probably walking around with your body right now, which seems strange to me, because in my experience, it seems just fine usually when people make well, not fine exactly, but it's like, you know, more of a partnership, I guess. And it seems strange that the devil would force you out of your body and you be the sort of floating specter.
Hey,
no collaboration
this,
really involved. The devil just sort of grabbed what he
no, it was
wanted
totally a
and left.
collaboration when we did it. This story is anonymous, right?
I'm not a journalist, honey.
Listen, let me tell you this. I've never really been one for reading the fine print.
The terms of condition.
It's alright, my father was like that too. Turned out the better for me though.
Yeah, it seems like it worked out okay for you. Well, from my point of view, you're a little wispy, too. You sure it turned out all right for you?
I'm More or less,
We were the
percentage
devils the
wise.
entire time.
The devils were the
It is the others.
others.
Well, best of luck, lady.
All right. Can you tell me more about this place we're in right now?
Yeah, Arvix?
Yeah, I mean, the tavern you're in, this area, is there some sort of thinness between the veils going on here?
You gonna ask
You
Rex
wanna
about
tell
that?
me anything about that, Rex?
You've lost me hardcore, lady.
Okay, that's
What's your sign? Let me do birth chart real quick.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to know why a deal with the devil would result in this kind of thing happening. Since not what happens in my experience, but
Well, maybe the devil in your experience was just a bit nicer than these ones. The guy I talked with, he was just kind of a floating ghosty. He didn't have much of a physical form to speak of.
okay.
Stop it.
How many different ways can I mispronounce synonyms for corporeal?
Physical.
Right. I mean, you didn't have like a kid or nothing after you got possessed and shit, right?
No.
No one else you know who was part of this did? Little devil babies popping out.
This is a very personal question.
It
Yes.
kind of is, but it's personal to me too, and I would like to know.
Listen, I don't go prying into the personal lives of people who run ramshackle rebellions with me. But we're talking about little tiefling babies popping out. Then, there's probably someone.
So helpful. Thank
Let
you,
me-
Rex.
Some tieflings do have babies.
Let me think.
Does this tiefling have baby though?
Me?
A baby in my
A demon baby?
You know what? It's fine if there isn't.
Listen, I was just telling you a story of how I was hooking up with another dude. There's no babies coming out of that relationship.
No, I got it. All right. Well, thanks for your time. I guess I have a clear idea of where I should go next to find some answers.
Go home to your man. What are you doing on the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that going out without your man?
That's a good question.
Yeah, go home.
Go home, you fool! You're cut off.
All right. Cheers, lady.
Yeah, give him a bill.
Puts on his cowboy hat, tips it, walks out. You hear his spurs jingling as he moves.
The tiefling.
He's got two little holes in the brim where his horns poke through it.
So
Very
stylish.
cute.
It's very hard to put on.
Yeah, it's a very specific hat to put on.
Does he
There's
actually-
like 6 holes that have been punctured over the years.
Does he actually leave though, Kenny?
Yeah, he actually strides right out of this bar.
We reunited some love. Gay love pierces the veil.
And the hat. 16.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna meander back over to
Yeah, we
these
heard
guys
none of
over
that,
here.
unfortunately.
Yeah, we were
It was
dealing
very
with fire.
So back over here. You have just experienced this, like Valor says, it's infernal text, yo. And so you've got this book that you can still see a wisp of acrid black smoke billowing out of its pages.
What
Can I
y'all
touch the
reading?
book?
Oh yeah, you put your hands on it,
You just
and
got burned with fire and you want to touch it.
Yes, I do.
so your
I have
hands
9
are,
hit points left. Who gives a shit?
your hands are a little numb, a little charred, but you put your hands in on the book, and yeah, you feel the texture of the vellum beneath your hands.
Okay, I want to very carefully flip the pages. I don't want to read it. I just kind of want to,
Just like not looking.
Okay, you're flipping the pages.
and I can. And they do flip.
Yeah.
Okay, and I very carefully set it back to the page they were on. Oh, good on, no, you're back.
Yeah. What you looking at over there?
It's text. from Arvix. Would you
Okay.
like to read?
Yeah, these people are from Arvix.
Oh yeah, that guy over there too is also from Arvix.
Really? Would you care to read this, but maybe stay back a little bit? And I kind of charred hands.
Oh, was that the right? Me and my fire resistance. I gotcha.
There you go.
You take this book and you look at it, and it is infernal text. And it says, serves you right for peering into other people's business. And there is a cheeky little devil face scrawled in the bottom.
Oh.
Huh. Seems like a little hex or something. Like
I was invited to look at it. Why would it hurt me?
I don't know. It's just like, it's like, don't look at, just mind your business,
I was.
The
Crown up.
universe.
You feel a little bit of warmth beneath your hand, and a new bit of writing has appeared in the book.
Uh-oh.
And it says,
I know.
and it says, wait, you're really interested, aren't you?
Girl, what?
Yeah? Hi, what's up? What's your name?
The Dragonborn looks at you and says, is she talking to the book?
Yeah, the book's talking back to me. Hey, why do you burn my friend over there?
The grandma looks at you like,
I was invited to read it.
and the text scribbles back. Sounds like you want to know why 3 goody two-shoes priests have found themselves in this sort of predicament.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. I was also talking to Rex over there. You affiliated with him?
Smiley emoji.
You told Rex that you wouldn't tell. It lasted 2 seconds.
I'm proud as a gossip. I'll tell you. All right. So, if you're the guy who helped him out, why did you need all their bodies, all these fine people's bodies, and why don't they know what's happened to them?
And the text scrawls, what's your name?
What are you wearing?
My name is Crown Glory, Fortune Hallelujah. My dad's a real important guy. It wouldn't piss me off. That would tell me the truth.
My dad can be a beauty.
My dad, the inventor of toaster strudel.
There is a long pause.
You see the blinking.
Several people are writing. And actually, you see in different colored inks a lot of different bits pop up saying, "Wait, really, Crowna? Is that Crowna? Oh my God, that's not Crowna."
Oh, I have fans.
It's like when people pretended to be celebrities on Neopets.
There's no way that's actually
not
Crowna.
Do you want my autograph? I can put it down here for y'all. I don't know how you would absorb that. But...
And the book says, "Yes, please sign your name in this book."
Oh, yeah.
Wait, are you reading all this out loud, or are you just reading it in your head?
I'm just reading it to myself.
Oh, so we can't
I was
stop
like,
you.
I'm about to, and I'm like, no, I think I've heard of this one before. I don't think I'm the...
Yeah, send us your bank information, and we'll send you the next
Your social security
$100,000.
card.
Yeah.
I'm the son of a demon prince. And all I need is $5,000.
No, see, this is what my other dad got in trouble for doing. So
Wait,
I'm
this
not
is a
gonna-
phishing scheme.
So yeah, I would very much like to be, like to know the answers to my question.
Okay. What's up?
You up? Well, as a party collectively, we want to know how to contact people in Auredane, because it seems like that's where all these fine folks are from. We want to know where to find Sorceress Ruby, if you know her whereabouts. And we would like to know if we can get all these fine people their souls back for trying to do something so noble.
Are you talking in infernal?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. So we
Makes
can't
sense.
understand.
So it's like grating.
Yeah, we're just like dying.
I
over
speak
there.
celestial.
There's another pause. You see some of those other texts flit in, kind of just like wondering what the main writer is going to say back. And what you get back says this. He says, I know the answers to those questions. I don't think I'm in a position of power to grant you any wishes, as the case may be, unless you'd like to make this relationship a little bit more interesting. But I do know this ruby, and I know that there's something very interesting to you back home in Kailumbra.
Okay. Well, that's definitely on my to-do list, but if you could direct me to Ruby real quick.
Yeah. You would know her as Carnelian.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna, if you've got any extra tips for contacting the other side of the veil, as it were, I would love to hear them.
Talk to her boss.
Her boss?
Later.
Oh God.
Hello? Leaving me on red? Nothing. Okay. I turn back to the priest. Fellas, this book, where'd you get it?
And the Dragonborn rubs his chin and says, "Oh, you know, I can't rightly remember. I think I got it from the library."
I'm a big connoisseur of music myself. I'm a musician. I find these sort of religious, this religious music really fascinating. You know, there's a lot of sort of discordant melodies that, you know, you don't really work with in more mainstream music, I guess.
Serenon's like staring at you.
I love how your
And-
music sucks. It sounds bad.
It's not, well, not just, well, I don't know, it's just interesting. There's
It's
different-
always interesting to hear an outsider's perspective.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating to me. Do you mind if I borrow this? I'll bring it straight back, promise, hand to my heart.
It's a library book.
Should I ask you to make a deception check?
I mean, I really do want to borrow it.
Make me
I
a
just need
persuasion check, will ya?
check.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna cast. Hold on. Which, Where am I?
I mean, I got a
Interest.
+8 to persuasion.
Okay, but I'm also gonna give you fucking guidance. Would that help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got an extra D4
I'm
on
gonna
that check.
kind of give you a little pat on the shoulder, like you're doing good work.
Okay.
Just very surreptitiously cast
I'm
guidance on you.
Stealing this book from a bunch of priests.
Well,
yeah,
it's
but they sold
interesting.
their souls to the devil.
Okay, 27 plus, I
Oh
got
my
30.
god. Oh wow.
This book belongs to you now.
Yeah.
I would love
Look at those anime eyes. Blink, blink.
would love to play some of this music or transpose it into a way that's more widely available.
You know what? Why don't you take that book? Take it. Your friend is Serenon there. Maybe you can help us figure out this sticky passage we've been
Oh my
trying to work on
goodness,
for
I'd be
so long.
so honored.
Lay it on
Lay it
thick,
on so
won't you?
thick.
And he nods and says that would suit me quite well, wouldn't it? And he looks to his side and they nod. Oh yes, very yes.
Oh yes, very yes.
Oh, yes, very.
I like how we both said very yes,
Yeah.
which means
I was
nothing.
making fun of you.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you so much, Father. I understand what a great privilege
Just
this
brother.
is. Brother.
Daddy,
Daddy.
if you
Y'all nasty.
Daddy Dragonborn.
We'll return it in pristine condition. I immediately back out and I grab these two by their arms, and I take them towards the door, and I huddle up with you guys. We gotta go to the palace as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because,
The
like-
person that all these people, is the reason that they made a deal with the devil. Her name is Ruby, quote unquote. She's Lady Carnelian. That's what these.
Wait, her name is literally Ruby Irie?
Yeah.
Because that was a joke.
It's pretty funny. So we gotta go.
I
to
wish
the
it
palace.
wasn't evil. That is a good joke.
And it sounds like that's also where our friends have gone to
Yes.
go talk with.
Right. But how are we going to get in there?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Valorant, do you have any ideas?
Valerith is the grimacing emoji. She,
Yikes emoji.
She says, okay, this is a long shot. When there is a place underneath the palace that there are stories about, a ancient temple to Lotan Ratu. It's a sacred place. I don't know how you think you're going to talk with your friends, but if there is, like, you have that medallion that looks like the constellations, I don't know, it sounds like you're looking for a sacred place. Maybe it's that spot underneath the palace.
I'm gonna go over and ask those priests
Yeah.
quick again about any kind of temple beneath the palace.
Well, they're no, real quick. So they're from Arvex.
Yeah, I know, but
it's
there's-
Scaled Citadel to them, not a palace.
If there's some kind of equivalent underneath, maybe you could give us some idea of how
I
to get
suppose,
in there.
and it would be to Lotan Ratu still, since
Yes.
it is a Scaled Citadel.
Yes.
That's good. Let's go.
All right.
So you go over to them, you ask that question, and they narrow their eyes at you for a moment, and they say, well, you are Lightbringers. Talk to General Silverscale. He is the oracle of Lotan Ratu. Lotan Ratu lives in a secret temple. And only his oracle and those closest to him would know where they are. It's possible your friends were taken there when they arrived, however long ago it was.
All right. So talk to the Oracle of Lotan Ratu.
Yep, that would be Silverscale.
All right. Yep.
We can't
Silver
find the
Scale.
Silver
That's
Scale.
great. We'll go find Silver Scale. That's the man we will go find. Thank you so much. Should we shuffle along our way? Yeah.
I'm going to, would you like me to leave the incense? Or shall I put it out? I know it can be kind of strong for people who are not used to it.
Go ahead and keep it.
Alright. I do need my incense holder though, so I'm gonna kind of look around and I'm gonna grab like a beer mug. Stick it in there.
All right. You head out from the tavern. You grab your things. Magpie says, "Okay, I'm a little bit lost, but
Where's she been this whole time? Just downing ghost beer?
she's just been fucking with that one ghost that she was really."
Magpie, there's apparently a secret temple beneath the palace. We're gonna try to get in through there.
How are we
Okay.
going to talk to Silver Scales?
We won't. He is in Auredane.
I know!
I mean, if we can find some kind of oracle of Lotan Ratu in that area, maybe they can take us to.
I feel like if there's an oracle, then Miss Ruby?
Lady Carnelian.
Lady
Yeah.
Carnelian will have, like, gotten hold of, made sure that person
That's
isn't able to
true.
talk.
Well, we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's go. At least probe the perimeters of the palace.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Magpie says, "I actually learned something when I was talking to my ghost."
You were just
Oh, in between
idiot.
swipes.
Yeah.
What do you know?
And he was telling me about a place, like a prison, where people got locked up in the city. And she looks over at Valerith, not yours. And Valerith's like, fine. Like a place for, I don't know, political prisoners isn't right, but like a... Anyway.
POW, maybe?
Like political prisoners, I guess. I don't know. I think that's worth checking out. If you have a lead you need to follow, you should go do that. Don't let me hold you up.
That's probably where the Oracle is.
True, they might be too important to get rid of.
Yeah.
Especially if they are the Oracle to Lotenratu.
That could be.
I think if you know that there's this place full of important political figures who are opposed to Lady Carnelian, it's worth looking into.
That makes sense. I heard that it was adjacent to the palace.
Of
All right.
course.
Easy.
Of course.
Yeah, that's convenient.
How convenient.
And
Alright.
she like,
I'm gonna
yeah.
put my hood on again.
Okay. And you head back out into the streets. And once...
I wanna,
Mm.
real quick, before we leave, wanna poke my head out the door and look in either direction and rooftops just to make sure there's no one watching us.
Good. Make a perception check.
Perception.
Uh-oh.
I got a natural one.
No! Hey, does anyone have inspiration right now?
I do.
No.
Rip.
I do.
Okay. You can pass it along if you want, but you don't have to.
I have a +4 to perception, so it's a 5.
No, it's not the natural
I'll pass
one.
along my inspiration. She
Oh,
can have
don't
it.
waste it on me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
save it.
Yeah, I think
If we die, we die.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's the ground.
I'm
There's
just
the
basically
sky.
going out the door first, like,
There's that goose
yeah,
cloud again.
Wow, that's a callback to something we won't air, probably.
Well, now it'll keep people wanting that bonus content.
that bonus goose content.
goose.
When we release it, the goose will be loose.
Don't get lost in that sauce. Wait, let me say it in the Sarah voice. Don't get lost in that sauce.
All right, Valor, since we're going to a prison again, we're counting on you to help us get in.
Oh, am I the prison expert now?
Yeah, narc.
Yeah. Narc.
What does narc mean?
It means asshole.
That seems fair. Knock. Hey, speaking of knock,
She doesn't even know what fuck means.
I learned last time. You may keep your holy symbol for now.
Oh, you gave it
earned-
back to her?
She has earned our trust, I believe. For now.
Yeah, okay.
No
Thanks.
sword though.
Once a narc, always a
You-
narc.
Your trust won't be misplaced.
Thank you.
Okay. The
Yeah,
prison.
Yeah, you know it's prison, right? Like,
I mean-
you probably all know each other. in prison people.
They have a Discord.
The prison
All
wardens
wardens
Discord.
know each other, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know where it is, but it's not for the reason you might think. I was in there for a while.
We're not sympathetic.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to give a shit about me. But you should know that I know how, I know how to get in there.
Okay, great. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Do you know how to get out? That's kind of the important one.
She's out here now, isn't she?
Well, I think
Yeah,
she
but
got
she
released.
did it, yeah, because she was a narc.
Well, yeah, I know one way to get out.
Be a narc.
Not gonna happen.
Wheel.
I mean, you guys could be narcs.
No way.
How dare
We
you?
would never.
Magpie, slaps her. This is humiliating. Why am I here with you?
No fighting! Shakira.
Okay, prison it is. And...
Prison on 3.
Prison!
Are we sneaking or are we just walking?
We'll do a stealth check through the streets.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
should keep
think
a
I
low
have no
profile.
stealth.
Uh-oh.
I have disadvantage on stealth, I think.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not good.
Do you want my cloak? Maybe you should have my cloak.
It wouldn't fit her.
Just put the hood
Oh,
on.
I don't think I actually have disadvantage on stealth. I think it was Valor who did.
I actually
Mhm.
have advantage because not
Yeah, because Val's got heavy armor.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got an 8.
Ooh, nice.
And got
I
an
did
8.
pretty good. I got 18
I
Okay.
got
plus no stealth.
26.
Nice.
Ooh, spicy.
Valorith got a 6.
Oh, Valorant.
Poor baby. She's our bodyguard.
And you got pretty bad too, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was
it? was an 8.
Mm-hmm. So Valorith is fully aware that she's gonna fuck this up, and she's like, "Let me stay 50 feet ahead of you. I'll draw any attention. You guys can stick behind."
Oh, so noble.
I'll walk up there with her.
Okay.
Who was your persona again? Weren't you like a salesman?
Oh yeah, I was a used
Oh, I
salesman.
forgot about our personas. Oh no.
I forgot my name. I've decided to Ebenezer right now. And
I'm gonna be.
I got a wig.
I'm gonna be Abraham.
And I think I'm conspicuous because not only are my clothes extremely ill-fitting, I've got a wig on, right? But my horns go straight up, so my hair has to be big enough to cover my horns. So it's just big old bouncy hair.
Yeah, you've got
Every
like
step I take down the street, it's just like
Madame Bouvier hair going on,
straight out of the 80s. Just
or the French Revolution.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good look.
Does your wig have a ship in it?
Hey, Sarah.
There's a used car in it.
Wasn't it wagons that you were selling?
Used.
Just wagging in my hair.
What is a Saranon's ridiculous Amish name?
Sexy on it.
Ooh, Amish. I'm not funny right now. You gotta give me a minute. Can I
Okay.
Google real
Well, we'll
quick?
come back to you.
we'll get back to
I need a phone so I can
Babynames.com.
Google.
Okay. So Jebenezer.
Wait, what's the sleeping shack meme?
What?
The shack meme.
Oh.
He's like, real shit.
Uh-huh.
What was his name in that?
I don't
God,
know.
we're all useless. I'll be back in a second.
What? Not that important.
It is.
Are we taking a break?
We're gonna continue without.
No, we're going on. There's no break.
I gotta find out my Amish name.
So I'm sneaking. You're not sneaking.
Take a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah. I tried.
Which
but
Amish are you?
my hair, it's too powerful. My horn concealing hair.
So you're
And
going.
Magpie, I assume, is sneaking as
Oh
well.
yeah, Magpie is right alongside you.
All right,
Oh,
cool.
stealth.
And so Crowna,
I'm up there with Valorith. I'm pretending she's my bodyguard.
yeah, you two are incredibly conspicuous. And you are just walking down the street, and there are a lot of people who don't care. Like they're just walking past, and you're turning heads, but they aren't stopping. Yeah, Toby.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. And so you're just going through the street. Everyone else is doing their best to sneak behind you. And Valorith is like, as long as we don't get the attention of one of those dragons, we'll be fine. So
What?
Don't finger guns at the dragons.
Finger guns at you.
This is where you fail every stealth check.
And
Grogda.
What?
Grogdiabil.
What?
who's
What was the original Amish name?
It wasn't an Amish name. I looked up ugly baby names.
Are those ugly names or names for ugly babies?
It depends on how you look at it. Grogdiabil.
Grogdiabil?
That's an orc name.
You're gonna die a bell.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Abraham and Grogdiabil. I can't even write it. How do you spell that?
Grogdiabelle. Grogdiabil. I just won the spelling bee with that.
But can you use it in a sentence?
No.
Oh god.
Grogdiabil and Babraham, you two are sneaking up quietly behind everyone, and you see the moment when Crowna finger guns right at one of the Dragonborn. Ka-chow!
It's like, yeah, it's slow motion because it's like our whole life flashes
And Valak
before
was
our
like,
eyes.
no! And this Dragonborn turns to look at you and walks over, glassy-eyed, turning over and
It's not a
says,
real gun. It's not a real gun.
"Where are you going?"
Is there only
Used
one
wagon
Dragonborn?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
On this street, there's only one of them.
Okay.
I'm on my way to the used wagon show.
So
They use the wagon show.
Or something?
I'm Japanese.
Okay.
Please make me a deception check with disadvantage.
Yeah. I mean, you could use your inspiration, but I don't know if that.
I don't think
I
it's
don't think that's salvageable.
double 20s.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Actually, yeah.
Deception?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 14.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh god.
But
Swing by for some goodies, you know.
don't stay too long. All are being called to the palace.
Oh. What for?
I'm new in town.
Her ladyship has demanded it.
Oh. Why?
Everybody has to come to my party.
And he looks at you and turns away and continues walking.
Learned nothing from this.
Valor, it's like, what is going on in that head of yours?
Elevator music mostly.
80s elevator music.
That's 70s, baby.
70s.
That's Shaft.
You're right, you're right.
And with that encounter ridiculously, dispathed with,
Just so charismatic.
That's one word for it.
you continue along your way, with Valorith gently guiding you through the streets until you reach a wing of the palace that is surrounded by a tall iron fence with big spikes at the top. And there's this big Gothic wrought iron gate in front of it with these like roses in the architecture and like thorns winding around the bars. And she says, "Well, a prison this extra can only belong to one person."
Are there any guards to the gate or just the gate?
The gate itself is closed. Beyond the fence, there are a row of 8 stone buildings. I was about to say houses, but that's not quite right. It's like a... Man, there are a lot of prisons you guys have encountered in this
Yeah.
Because we're criminals.
game.
I'm
Yeah.
not a criminal.
Be gay, do crimes.
So,
Be gay, do crimes. Be gay, do crimes. Be gay, do crimes.
Me.
So there are several stone buildings in here. There are 2 long ones that have one door. They seem to be like pretty standard cell blocks. And each of them terminates in a tall tower.
So there's probably guards in there.
That would seem about right.
Okay.
And so Valorith says, "Take a second. You've only got one shot."
I was gonna cast Mass Heal Wounds, but I forgot.
Maybe we should do that right outside this prison gate.
Oh, you have staff.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, because we have not rested. We're on a
Be like,
mission.
we're about to go in, and I go, wait.
Wait, we're bleeding.
Yeah, you've got scabs all over your face.
I'm like hacking up blood.
Japanese charred ass
having his
hands.
best skincare day.
I'm gonna take a look at everyone and kind of remember that we're all kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Tia coughs a little bit, and it's like, a little bit of blood, don't mind me.
I'm just like hobbling, just.
I try to like rub my hands to get some magic flowing, and I'm like, oh, ooh.
Ow!
Okay, and I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds, because I'm assuming everyone got kind of fucked up.
Yeah, remind me what those dice you roll are for
Mass Cure Wounds is 3d8.
Cool.
Ooh, that'll go down.
Yeah.
Is that a mass cure wounds or a mass healing word?
Mass Cure Wounds. Ooh,
Yep.
my Staff of Healing. Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, and then it's plus another 2, because my spellcasting modifier, so 6 plus 7 is 13. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
13 heat points.
Thank you.
I'm still not at full, but that's fine.
Now I'm only down 2.
I mean, if you've got another spell you wanna pump out of that staff.
No.
Okay.
I just used up 5 charges.
Short break at all?
No.
No, you were going through the city streets.
That's fine.
I'm gonna roll perception on the gate and see if I can tell what kind of lock it is.
Very well.
How far are we from it? Do I need to get closer?
So you are kind of like in the shadows of a tall building right now, about 20 feet away, but you can scuttle up to the front real easy.
I'm gonna scuttle. Do I need to roll another stealth check?
No.
Okay.
Scuttling gives you automatic stealth.
Do I have... any
Unless the
ability?
clap of your cheeks.
Stop! Stop.
I
Jenna
have
McKellar,
fast hands that I can use a bonus action.
Yeah, your hands are fast.
Oh, but that's only in battle. Huh? Okay, well, doesn't matter.
Someone else can catch those hands.
Nope. I don't notice anything.
You just look at the bars. Pretty.
Is a 7.
I mean, if you want to spend a little bit longer, you can re-roll. So you go up to the gate and you look at it and you're like, where's the lock?
It's been a while.
Hey Valorith, where's the lock?
Where's the lock?
Well,
It's
it's like,
a weird looking lock.
I don't know. I didn't bust out.
I'll
I
find out.
narked.
Yeah, you did. Maybe my spike for Valorith will fuel me this time.
Yes,
Yeah, 17.
Okay. You're like, fucking narc. And yeah, so you look over the gate and there is a lock and it is embedded in one of the big iron roses.
Oh, so you didn't notice it.
Yeah, it was kind of hidden.
I see. But
Um,
it looks like a standard, like, lock pickable lock.
Yeah, it's got a keyhole and everything. Beyond this gate, the prison yard seems empty.
Okay. And the guard towers?
There are lights within the guard towers.
But I can't see any silhouetted figures.
No, you don't see anyone moving about up there.
Okay. I think this is our chance. I think we should go for it.
Yeah, alright. I like how we just kind of. You good?
Tico looks across the street. I think this is our chance.
Yeah, I made our special hand signal that we have.
Oh.
Us? Ew.
This is us entering the prison.
Do you think?
Keyhole, and you just.
Our pull-out game has been strong thus far. I mean, we've gotten out of prison how many times now?
Unacceptable.
Children in jail. Cut that. Cut delete that footage.
Are we in or not?
I'm in hell. I'm dead.
Are we in or not?
Alright, I'm gonna pick the lock.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
But I'm gonna make eye contact with Krona and Valorith and be like, this time I need you to try.
Try what?
We're gonna have to be a little more stealth because we don't want to alert the guards. There's like, what, 6 towers or something?
Don't give me that look.
Keep alerting the guards.
Discreet. I can be discreet.
All right, I just really need you to be on your best behavior. Okay, I'm gonna pick this lock.
Okay.
I'm always
Can
my
I
best
cast
self.
guidance again?
Please.
And give me a dexterity check. Can add your proficiency bonus.
I also gave guidance.
What does it do?
Roll a
Okay,
d4.
1d4.
Oh, thank you.
Pick a good one.
Pick a friend.
Yeah.
All right, that's 14 plus 5, 19.
Hey, very nice. Yeah, that lock is nothing before you. It is putty in your hand. And yeah.
Does it do a cool thing like the rose on?
Yeah, so
Gold.
you click it, and some of the thorny vines around it go.
Nice, it's ASMR.
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna open it just enough.
Crown oils up the gate.
lube.
Yeah.
Always good to have on hand.
Yes. This is our emergency lube.
Lube bag.
case.
I'm just gonna. Tico's not thinking about. I'm sorry.
No lube.
No, he's not thinking about.
No.
About me, that's fair.
So
Yeah.
no lube?
Please, I'm dying.
Opens it a little bit and slips through.
Mm-hmm. All
I'm
right.
just gonna open the gate like a normal person.
Tico
I
slips
oiled it! I oiled it! Why is it still sweet? Okay, I'm walking.
Little speak.
Okay. I accept that. I walk through.
All right, you head through the gate, and you find yourself in the prison yard. It's eerily quiet over here. You can see people very far away on the main street of town from where you are. It's just sort of walking up towards the main gate of the palace. But over here, there doesn't seem to be much of anything.
Alright. I'm gonna look at, are there windows in the prison?
Well, the cell blocks, no, they have no windows. The towers do have windows at the very top. And at the far end of this prison yard, there is a doorway that leads to a hall that seems to connect to the main palace itself.
I think there are
so
two
you can
ways.
get in through to the palace through this prison?
It looks pretty heavily, locked, this main door,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think there are two ways we can go about this. We can either tout Valorith out as a visiting warden and, try to politicalize our way in, or we can brute force this.
Can't
There's
we
a
just
third
sneak-
way.
Yeah?
Can't we just sneak around and try to find a relevant prisoner to speak to? And find a
But what
wiser
if one of them
example?
squeals?
Well, we could just offer to break them out.
Valor
like
says
if-
don't trust narcs.
You're not funny. I feel like
It's kind of funny.
if one of them
It's pretty brutal.
was a squealer, they would have squealed on somebody else already.
But we're new people to squeal on. We're new and exciting.
They don't know who we are. They don't know if we're
True.
important.
That's true. I think, okay, sneaking.
Okay, let's go find, explore the cells and find an oracle or something to talk to and be like, hey, how we get into
Where's an oracle?
Which one of you is the oracle?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe if you do an arcana check, are you able to detect who is magic?
I want to do a perception check for the safest way to maneuver around this area without being seen by anyone looking down from the
We
towers.
should have done this before we entered the yard.
We're just gotta go and pick this lock. Perception check.
3. That makes sense for Crown.
This seems safe.
I don't know what you were looking at, but it's okay because apparently neither did you.
Okay. Honestly, for the best way to sneak around without being seen by anyone.
I'm gonna look at the barrack doors.
Okay.
And see first if there's any locks, what the locks look like, the traps, if there are any traps, and maybe if I can see how recently it was opened.
Okay.
12 plus 16.
Very nice. I'm actually going to say you kind of go around the yard a little bit and take a look at several of these doors.
Okay.
And one of the cell blocks seems like it's got some good traffic going in and out of it. This door is opened every day, at
Okay.
least. But here's something. The other one looks like it hasn't been opened in months.
Uh-oh.
There is a bit of rust on the hinges.
They might be
dust.
dead in there, and then there's no issues.
Well, at very least we know a guard won't jump in.
Yeah.
Let's go there first, at the very least.
Okay. No traps?
Nope, your perception doesn't reveal any traps on this door.
Alright, I'm gonna lock it.
Great.
Does it have a lock?
Yeah, it's locked.
Let me in!
What perception check is that? It's just like,
The push or pull check.
Alright.
I always fail it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Womp womp.
it's fine. It's still a 14 for the lock picking.
Yeah. This lock is kind of rusty. It's hard to use your tools in it, but it takes about 10 minutes of slow work. And Krana and Serenon are just on their phones.
Just play Tetris.
Yeah.
Do you see this meme?
We're taking BuzzFeed quizzes. Crown is taking a BuzzFeed quiz.
It's which gladiator are you? And she's like, if I don't get crowned, then
She gets Jesus.
But eventually the door does open, and it is a metal door, and its hinges creak a little bit as you open it up. And it is pitch black inside.
I got this.
Alright, I'm gonna close the door behind us. We're all in here, right?
I'm gonna cast Produce Flame.
Cool. You've got a little fire in your hand.
It sheds bright light for 10 feet.
Cool. So you kind of hold it aloft like you would a torch.
Everyone here could see in the dark except for Tico.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
doing this for Tico.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I think of others.
He
Come
could just
on.
hold the hems of our coats like an errant child.
Maybe if you guys would get me those night vision goggles I keep asking for.
You know they're expensive.
Yeah, but I've been so good.
We're not Santa Claus.
He's also a wrestler.
The elves are his tag team.
That would be a cute wrestler.
That's pretty cute. Anyway, you look inside here, and there are rows of cells, and you, gazing into them, see something a little unexpected. There are people inside of them. One person to a cell, like you might expect. But these people are not moving. In fact, as you hold your flame near them, the flame reflects upon them.
Are these more statues?
They are.
Oh God!
They are statues made of black glass.
Yeah.
Ah, what the
I like freak out. I'm like, this is what we looked like up on the mountain.
Oh,
This is what we not what we looked like, but this is the black glass that we accidentally fell in. That was
shattered.
my fault. Sorry.
So if we
Around
break
us.
them, there'll be people inside.
I don't know about that.
Don't know about that one, Chief.
It's like a Kinder egg.
And they're illegal in America.
Can I investigate them for any familiar faces?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. How's my investigation?
I also want to do that.
17.
Cool.
Bad.
If you're looking for your friends, they aren't here. If you're looking for, actually, Krona, you do recognize two of them. You recognize them as Auredanian soldiers that you met in the army.
Oh. Like
You don't really
when
remember?
like during my military career?
Yeah.
Okay.
These people, well, they're garbed out like soldiers. They had that armor that was kind of indicative of the early what's happening period of the war. They have, I think one of them you recognize by name. The others you recognize just sort of like, oh, they're wearing a uniform. But many of these people just seem to be civilians. Some of them are Dragonborn. I'd say a majority of them are Dragonborn because we're here in Ruby Eyrie. But they're just people.
Do any of them have, like, priestly garb? Robes? Robes?
Vestments?
Nuggies?
Are any of them furries?
No, they're
How
all
did we get
scaly.
there?
That.
Yes, one of them has a robe with that Ouroboros symbol on it.
Is it silver scale?
Doesn't look like him.
Okay.
Because we've met Solar Scale.
Yeah.
3 times, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was the one. No, Gizar was the one that pulled me in. Never mind.
Some of these were in the army with me before I met y'all. It's quite interesting.
Where do you think they are now? I mean,
They're
They're not-
they're probably still in Auredane, right?
but
'Cause
we
they're-
weren't.
I mean, our things shattered and then we were here.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that is how we got here somehow, because ours shattered and we're here. And they said that our statues were on the mountain for
Yeah.
years, and it was only when ours broke that we came here.
Yeah.
Or did they break because we came here?
I don't know, but I do wonder if being a statue has something to do with crossing the
Are there
lines.
any that are like gnomes or are gnomes a thing in this
Mhm.
world? Okay, are there any like little ones, like halflings?
Yeah, there are plenty of halflings in here. You see one dwarf and one gnome as well.
I open the bag of holding. I'm like, y'all help me get one of these guys in here.
What are you doing?
Why?
If one of them like wakes up, then we can like.
If they wake up in the bag, they will die.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll feel the punching and stuff.
Really?
I don't.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't
it's
think
an
that's how that works.
extra-dimensional space.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with
What
that.
about the
seems
hole?
bad.
We could put it in the hole.
They
'cause
will
then-
also die in there.
No, because remember when we put the robot, when we put the construct to the hole and we tried to get out, they were like,
But we can't put the
Fists
hole in
push.
the bag.
protruding out of it.
I
Well,
know,
the
the
hole's
hole's just in my
small.
pocket.
Yeah, you can carry it around.
Yeah,
don't
but what if we
I'm not
need the hole for
comfortable
something
with
else?
Well, we'll just take it
Get out of there.
I mean, I feel like if we can ever get to talk to one of these other guys, then we can compare experiences and figure what's going
I
on.
wonder if I have anything.
I really want to take a gnome statue with you guys.
It just seems like we're.
You just want a garden? No.
Oh no! Hey.
That's probably pretty racist in D&D, isn't it?
I'm trying to see if I have anything.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to see if I have any magics that might help with this.
Tico. Tico. Can we pick that lock?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Pick the lock with the gnome in there.
I don't know if I want to put a gnome in a hole.
No, we shouldn't.
No. Oh, come on.
And we can always come back here, but
No, we can't.
well, we kind of can. We're in here now.
I mean, like, I don't know. If we get found out, then we're never getting another chance to come back to this place. This place is full of answers.
But we
don't know what-
let me try something.
Okay.
I'm gonna try augury.
Okay.
As a ritual, it's a ritual. So I'm gonna kind of park myself right in front of the gnome cell, and I'm gonna lay out. I have a bunch of carved bone and sticks that I arrange in certain patterns, and I'm gonna ask if we take this gnome, will it help us?
Oh, Father who art in heaven, what will occur if I take this gnome?
Not another question about the consequences of taking a gnome. That's all people ask about.
You cast a spell, and you open your mind up to the divinations of the cosmos, and
About a no.
about this stone
I
gnome.
love that movie.
And augury can return one of three responses: wheel for good events, woe for poor events, or wheel and woe for mixed events. And you have a very strong reply of wheel and woe.
Waiting.
Because it's only for the next 30 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I come back out of it. Wheel and woe.
So does
So that's
nothing.
good.
It's both. It will help us, but it will hinder us.
So this is like for the near future, right?
Yes, within the next half hour.
Well, this sounds like it's not only investment, but it's an investment that'll pay back fast.
But it might also take great cost.
It might be a sort of like, oh, guards will find us thing, and then we'll
It-
just
it
have to
was-
kill them or whatever.
Well,
Let's just do it. I don't know.
Tico's like, all right.
Go, Tico. While you're doing this, I'm gonna explain. Well, I mean, the last time I cast this, it was in that forest right before Magpie's Town, and it was a very weak wheel and woe, and that was when we fought all those creatures, but then we found some cool stuff. This was very strong wheel and woe, which means there will be a very strong good outcome, but the consequences will be rough.
I think there's no gain without pain, and I'm a risk taker.
I think we
I'm
need to know
adventurous. Are you?
what's
I
up
don't
with
want
these
to get
statues.
hurt, but I mean, if you're willing to take the blows, it
Oh
may pay off.
12.
12? Okay, so this takes you some time to open the gate.
I just do all their arguing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, you've got time to burn.
We're discussing.
It's just an academic.
We've seen argument between
This is positively friendly.
And I'm going to take the portable hole and I'm just going to put it right over the gnome.
Cool. So yeah, it takes you about 15 minutes and click. And while you're doing this, you're kind of idly looking at the bars, and these prison bars are really rather artistic. They seem to be made in very tight coils that almost resemble like a serpent. Very long snakeskin.
Alright.
Oh, so like a dragon temple?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go click, and the lock pops open, and you open it up. You take out the portable hole, and you just you grab it. So
it in
you
the
can
pocket.
yeah. So
Snatched.
you can tie up this hole to make sure that it stays shut.
Well, I mean, I want him to be able to get out.
Oh, it's like yeah, he can get out.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
The portable hole feels like, I don't know, it's like slippery, slick parchment paper almost. So
Like wax paper, maybe?
like wax paper, yeah. So that thing unknots pretty easily if you're really
alright.
putting force against it.
Let's check out the other
Yeah.
row of barracks.
But we have to be careful because the guards go in there like every day.
Alright, we'll just sneak along.
Yes.
Cool.
This may be where the woe comes.
And as if on cue,
Oh gosh.
you hear kum kum. As
Who dropped what?
as every single one of these cells opens.
Oh
And a sort of crimson haze always permeates this city, but these black glass statues begin glowing with internal light.
Well then, now did this happen right as I put the guy in the hole?
No,
Okay.
you grabbed him and then you discussed for like 30 seconds and then something
Okay.
happened.
So not a direct consequence.
Well, maybe a delayed reaction. And you see that that Dragonborn in the priestly robes is the first to move. And it's a very jarring, like, it's their first steps in eons. And the stone seems to move as if it were flesh and scale.
But it's still stone.
It's still stone.
Okay.
And it begins to walk slowly forward towards you. Let's roll initiative.
Oh no, I thought maybe they'd be friendly.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be good?
Little statue friend.
15. Oh wait, no, we're doing this in turn. Sorry, it's been a while.
Tika's got 15?
Yeah.
Cool. How's Krona?
17.
Hey. How's old Grog Diabel?
It's got a 12, Brother Jedediah.
And ooh, I rolled a nat 20.
For Valorith, right? And Magpie,
Hmm.
our good friends.
What did Valorith get? Oh,
Don't like that.
She's slow.
that's Magpie. Oh, that's better. Okay. These little statues have one initiative. And so there are about 12 cells in the cell block. And so you see 11 statues glowing with crimson light, and the Dragonborn one, beginning to slowly make their way out of the cell. It's very mechanical, very robotic, as if they are not fully in control of their actions. They go boom, 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 boom.
Can we just
boom,
go?
boom.
Can we just go and lock the door?
Just
And
leave a
so-
room full of angry statues.
Oh, I have to get past all of them and they get an opportunity.
That's true.
attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of in the middle of this room, and the only door is on one end. So these statues flood the central corridor. So they're slow. Only 4 of them have gotten right up close to you, but the others are just very slowly turning around to get to you.
If we kill these statues, are we gonna kill somebody?
Do we get the sense that their movements are not sentient?
No, it seems very almost puppet-like.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, 4 of them are in striking range, and they are going to strike.
Yeah.
One of them is going to go after Saranon with a 6 to hit, and one of them is going to go after Tika with a 7 to hit.
Nope.
One of them is going to go after Krauna with another 6 to hit, and one more of them is going to go after Krauna.
Shitty statues, huh?
That's an 18 to hit.
Oh,
So this guy is a tall half elf, and they are going to raise one fist and just boom, bring it down on you. That's going to deal you 5 damage.
Okay.
Or sorry, 4 bludgeoning damage.
That's fine, whatever. That works.
Crowna, that brings us to you, and Tico, you're on deck.
I'm gonna try something that's a bit of a stretch. I'm going to use my action to cast message. It's a cantrip, and I'm gonna let's see, the target hears the message in like their head, I guess, and can reply in a whisper that only I can hear. And I point to this half elf that just attacked me, and I tell him, stand down, we're here to help you.
Make me a persuasion check.
Is it one of your military friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they might be military.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yeah.
I was on that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Plus 8. 18?
All right. And the half-elf stops. They have their fist in the air, getting, slowly ready to strike again, and they stop, and their face is expressionless, basically. Actually, their face is like an expression of shock, but it moves not at all. And they stop, and message is a spell that allows them to reply to you.
Yes.
And you hear a voice reply back in your head. I want to. It feels like the stone dragon is telling me to. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Stone dragon.
Stone dragon. The great stone dragon?
What?
It's a Mulan joke.
Oh. Okay, cool.
I'm going to, after I learn this information, I'm going to call out to everyone. Don't kill them if you can. They're still in there. I just talked to this dude. They're moving not of their own volition.
Should we just try to escape?
That might be good. Maybe lock them in here.
Okay.
All right, we have Tico now.
Alright, I guess I will... Is the hole doing anything?
Oh, like is
portable
it?
hole? Is there like movement?
There actually is no movement.
Okay.
Interesting.
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 Shrimp-tristing. It's not the first time I've heard that. Where have I heard
I
that?
don't know, it's a meme.
Uh,
I'm gonna take out the hole
Uh-huh.
and untie it.
uh-huh.
Nothing happening?
Do you like looking?
Sure.
It's just
Punch.
God, that would be so good. Oh,
so
that would
funny.
be so good.
Oh, that would be like classic Looney Tunes
Yeah.
moment.
No, there's just a gnome just like standing in there.
T-posing.
T-posing.
Alright, then I'm going to... Is it possible for me to throw the hole over somebody, or would that make the gnome fall out? I don't know how physics works with the hole.
Is there centrifugal force in alternate like pocket dimensions? I think you could try, but if you mess it up, the gnome would fall out, and you don't know how fragile that gnome
Shatter,
is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just put them back.
It is glass.
Okay, I'm gonna actually just put the hole on the ground, right in front of the nearest
Cool.
statue.
They're gonna fall in and shatter. It's like 30 feet deep, right?
It's
10
10
feet
I
deep.
think it's 10 feet
10
deep.
feet deep.
That's
And they
still...
just hit.
I could
crown
break
it.
grandma's porcelain in there, okay?
How soft is the pocket dimension?
I'm gonna try it.
Alright.
Okay.
Kiko's not thinking about that.
Warm, yeah.
And he just watched it punch Krona, and it seemed fine.
Fair. Tough glass, I guess. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
And
Tough
then
skinned.
I'll just back away.
All right, you back up. So you're in pretty tight hemmed in here now. If you back up, you're going to get into a cool back-to-back pose with someone. Of these two and Valorith and Magpie, who are you going to back-to-back with?
Magpie.
Cool.
They're probably the same height, approximately.
Ish, yeah. She looks at you and says, "You okay back there?"
Oh yeah, for sure. I
I'm
think
just-
if we just get them all in the hole.
Just pile them up.
just
A little statue party.
Just keep him safe in the hole.
Mac was like, all right, let's wrestle some statues. Cool.
Strength contest.
It is now the priest statue's turn.
Oh.
And, yeah. Magpie's next and then Sarah.
Okay.
And so he is going to boom, boom, boom. And he doesn't have a weapon. He's just going to hold his hands out. And they are going to begin to glow with arcane power. And his mouth kind of like opens up. And a voice is like being piped out through it. And
An advertisement from Spotify.
drink your Ovaltine.
From me commercial.
Casper mattress.
Sleep Country US, Sleep Country Tenebrae.
I buy a mattress. There is no night.
That's being cut from the episode, but being saved for posterity.
Oh my god.
Posturpedic mattresses.
Jesus
You
fuck.
should have quit while you were ahead.
I can't stop. I'm Miley Cyrus. We can't stop.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It opens up its mouth, and you hear a voice, a distant voice, like someone is talking through a walkie-talkie, and the signal is weak. And the voice says, I was wondering when you would all arrive here.
Does it sound familiar?
No one's home.
You've never heard this voice before in your life.
Okay.
Please leave a message.
No one's here, yeah.
And it says, come quietly, or I'll make you.
Come where?
To whomst?
The catacombs down below.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
Go there anyway, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
And he lowers his hands and looks askance and says, all right.
How do we get there?
Wait, to whom are we speaking? I'm a Saranon. This is Tico and Crowd.
I know, I'm Japaneser.
Oh, that's right. What was the stupid name?
Your name was
Diabel?
Crocodile, Babraham, and Jevaneser.
That's me.
Abraham.
Which one of us was Abraham? Okay.
Can you tell?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And the priestly statue is like, those aren't your real names, right?
Sure they are.
What is that
Absolutely.
supposed to mean?
What are you saying about the name my mother gave me?
Yes, my mother handcrafted this name. She went to the woods and saw it on a tree. Grog Diabel.
That's not handcrafting. That's a message from God.
That's not a tree.
It was Etsy made.
Etsy made this tree.
Yes, planted.
My mother-
Our druid goddess Etsy.
It's one of Kieva's many names.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Kind of a Jothar name, really.
Yeah, who are you? But who are you?
Yeah.
I'm not giving you my real name after all of that.
Are you also Grog Diabel? Oh, what a small world.
I've never met another crocodile.
Yes, it's so hard to find it on the keychain, right?
The priest just turns around and begins walking towards the exit.
Wait,
Lady
towards the door?
Carnelian? By any chance?
No, 1,
Oh, how many guesses do we have?
20?
3.
So arbitrary.
Don't fall in the hole.
Whoa. And so he just begins sort of walking,
Oh, okay.
trudging past you.
Here's the hole.
Kung, kung, kung. And all the other statues they're slackened. They've gone right back to their normal frozen state.
How are you getting to the catacombs? Because if we just go outside, people are going to notice.
And it looks backward at you, and you
Oh,
swear, and you swear it winks, and it says, "No, they shan't."
Oh.
It's like a little click.
Ooh.
The camera shutter.
Who are you trying to take a picture of in secret?
It's me, always.
Ebenezer.
Google Earth hours taking.
It's the paparazzi statue.
All right,
knew
I'm gonna
it.
follow. I pick up the whole line. I follow.
Okay, you follow, and this statue leads you into the palace, out into the prison yard, and then into the palace room.
Okay.
All right.
Just not gonna look at that other hallway. Huh?
Yeah, if there are prisoners in there, then fuck them.
And as they enter this hallway, the statue begins to sink into the ground. It
Wait,
Oh
just,
no, are you
Matt.
stuck?
and it keeps walking perfectly normally, and it looks back, and it then puts up its hands and begins to push the very stone itself out of its way.
Oh, thanks.
What?
Like, it is as if the ground is water, and it's pushing against glass, and it's just sort of shifting
Nice.
forward.
Nice. And is there like a staircase? Or
Yeah,
just
and
a
it is
pit?
slowly descending what looks like it doesn't look like it's a custom-made staircase, or it doesn't look like it was a crafted staircase. It's sort of a rough, graded slope that's beginning to go down.
I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk right next to you with produce flame again.
Oh,
Cool.
thanks.
Yeah, it's like it's brute forcing its way into the ground,
Maybe
basically.
like an Arcana check
Sure.
on this priest statue, and also like on the this whole ground situation.
Absolutely.
What's my Arcana? Okay.
How did he open the door into the palace?
He just pushed it open.
Okay.
It's a non-natural 20.
Okay. So what are you looking to learn about this?
I wanna know like what the nature of this illusion or entrance is, and I wanna know like I guess how this statue puppet is being controlled, and maybe what distance they're at. Like,
Okay.
do I think they would be like nearby? Do I think they could be like very far away?
So you have heard stories of constructs, creatures that are sort of magically empowered with a single command that they're ordered to carry out.
I had one of those.
Yeah, but they aren't sentient decision-making creatures. They have a command that they follow. This thing seems to... This is different because it has a consciousness, but it's not its own. It really is like a puppet,
It winked
a
at us,
remote-controlled being. You have no idea what sort of range it might have, and the powers that it is displaying seem unusual too. Like, constructs don't cast
Do
magic spells.
Yeah.
And this magic isn't anything to sneeze at either. It's just sort of pushing the stone away as if it were,
Okay.
candy floss.
So it's like actual material stuff, and it's doing magic push away. It's not an illusion or anything.
It doesn't, I mean, it could be an illusion. It could be a really powerful illusion, but
Okay.
it's almost 6 to 1, half a dozen of another at that point.
Yeah. All right.
So there is a staircase. Tico and Acerenon have gone down. Crono, you're following them too.
Yep.
Cool. And this staircase winds downward and downward and downward. Magpie leans in and says, surely this isn't the right thing to do, is it? Follow a statue we've never met into an ominous dungeon?
I mean, it didn't call the guards.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't knocked us out.
We need to get to the catacombs anyway.
Yeah.
This
The
seems like the easiest
catacombs?
route. We summoned her.
Uh-huh.
We're supposed to get under the palace, and it's a very direct route. I don't see why we shouldn't be going.
Yeah, Valorith shrugs her shoulders and says, this looks like some kind of sanguinite nonsense.
Isn't that your specialty, sanguinite nonsense?
You'd be right.
That would be a good stage name.
Sanguinite nonsense.
Yeah, try that one
What do you
next
think?
time.
Make a tag team of it?
Yeah.
Valorith makes little red sparks fly from her fingertips.
Ooh, nice.
Which one of you isn't the nonsense? Just kidding, we know. Me and Tika like a fucking high five.
So mean, so mean. I don't ever work with these guys,
I only work with Jesus.
The wrestler?
Yes.
Wait, you were a wrestler too?
In another life. Wah, 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 wah.
Like a 10-minute flashback.
She's lying. She
Sarah.
wishes she could work with Jesus.
Cool. You make your way down the staircase, and Magpie's uneasy, Valorith is confident, and the statue displays no emotion. Eventually, this staircase, even though it's dark, lit only by your flame, and the sort of weird reddish light that permeates the city, you can hear the sound of water trickling. And as you go down, it becomes louder and louder until it sounds like there's like a waterfall somewhere down here in these natural caverns. The walls are not made of brick at all. It's natural cave. And eventually you come out into an opening. And this is a beautiful waterfall cavern, easily like 300 feet in diameter. There are 3 or 4 other cave systems that lead off into other parts of the cavern, and no fewer than 5 waterfalls that pour out of other caverns into one big basin of water, like, you know, a big underground lake in the center of this room. At the far end of the wall is a raised dais, and hanging above it, carved into the wall itself, is a statue, a massive stone statue depicting 2 serpentine dragons coiling in a sideways figure 8.
Perfect. So the water, does it look like fresh water?
It does. It looks like very clean, potable water.
Okay.
One of the dragons is made of black glass.
Oh.
The other dragon also seems to be made of a similar material, but it is glowing crimson with internal light. And the Dragonborn looks to you and says, "Thank you for following," and suddenly goes back to the T-pose.
Nice.
Whatever glow of life was inside it is drained, and now the one of the stone dragons, the one glowing with red light, its eyes flash.
Oh no, who are we speaking to, Lieutenant Ratu? Oh no.
What was wrong with Lieutenant Matsu?
Oh no, we were so bad. We were being a bunch of dunces.
Also, Lotan. Oh, wait, no, he's still alive in the other world. Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
And that one red serpent looks down at you, and it rumbles with this earthquaking voice.
Oh, no.
"Indeed you were."
Oh no. Oh no. I'm never going to be the end of this.
Nice.
What does Valorant do?
The snake that blows itself. Nice to finally meet you.
Valorous jaws slightly agape. She's trembling a bit. Magpie has her eyebrows raised skeptically. And the dragon says, "What can I say? I appreciate a good joke."
We're going to die here.
It's my counterpart who's the stodgy one.
The other Lieutenant Ratu.
No, Lotan, the golden dragon. I am Ratu, the crimson one.
Oh.
Yes.
Lotan and Ratu. So, Lotan is the gold one,
Mm-hmm.
and Ratu is the red one?
Yes.
What happened to Lotan?
He banished me here for my betrayal.
Oh, what'd you do?
You're not very well educated, are you?
Well,
Wait, there's no need to be rude. He's
Yeah.
learning a lot.
I'm
He just learned about the letter T.
yeah, I mean, you won't know
There's a
it.
T in your name. There's a T in Ratu.
Oh, Ratu.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey.
We learn new things every day.
Scintillating.
There's a T in there.
I heard it.
Many years ago, centuries even, the first time monsters rose up against your people, it was the dragons that were the defenders of the realm. Lotan was the master of the metallic dragons. I was the master of the chromatic ones, those whose scales are all the colors of the rainbow. I decided I'd had enough of his pretentious lording over power.
Oh, stick to the man.
So I stuck a knife in his back,
Oh.
so to speak.
Stick to the man.
You couldn't at least do it in the front? That seems more sociable.
My dragons rose up against his and joined the side of the monsters. And for that I was banished. He tore his own heart out to prevent it.
Huh.
Huh.
That's kind of cool, honestly.
Pretty metal.
If you visited this chamber in your realm, I would be a statue of black glass, and the golden dragon himself would still be alive.
I do have I have a question.
Yes.
We were black glass
Yes.
for a long time, and then we weren't. What
Indeed.
happened?
Well, you were banished, just like I was.
So everyone who is a black glass statue here, has been banished to our world?
Indeed.
Oh.
Oh, no,
No.
sorry. Sorry, I misunderstood. No.
Is it the
No.
other way around? They were banished from our world to here, and they haven't been fixed yet.
You are figuring it out.
We have a gnome. If we shatter the
I'm
glass,
gonna
will
hold
he
up the gnome.
be good?
You would be very cruel-hearted if you were to do something
He
like
would die
that.
then, that's sure.
You destroyed his body
Okay.
before his soul has returned to it.
Then why were our statues broken? And we're still intact.
It is a film, a casing.
Okay.
Like a butterfly.
So
Indeed.
does that mean since our statues were up on that mountain for years and years before we were banished, does that mean we were always going to be banished?
Like, how come the statues show up so much further for the people?
Fascinating question, isn't it? Why do you think?
Do we not have free will? Oh.
Your friends were here some time ago. They spoke to Lotan.
What did they say to him?
Did they say hello to us?
And you can hear everything they say?
Indeed. I still have a modicum of presence in Auredane.
Does that mean we can say hi to Lotan?
No,
They don't like
he
each
has
other.
suffered a terrible fate between then and now.
Oh.
Oh.
We're sorry for your loss.
I'm not.
Okay, well, family is hard.
Yes.
Crowning, you know about that. You two can commiserate.
Yeah.
I was more than happy to topple his pretentious metallic dragonborn and help install the tiefling carnelian in their place.
Like in Auredane?
No, here.
Oh.
Here. It's here.
Yeah.
Here, there.
So are you a-
What's the difference?
Wait,
Is he a demon?
hold up.
No.
So, when you're talking about the metallic dragonborn, are you talking about General Silverscale?
He's one of them. He's a significant one of them.
Okay, and you toppled him, as you say.
Indeed.
And
Your-
you installed Lady Carnelian instead?
She was there.
But she's here too.
Yes.
Yeah, alright, can you...
How come we're not both?
Yeah, like...
Oh, but you are.
Excuse me?
What?
You are black glass.
Well, yes, but
Atop the
obviously
mountain.
Lady Carnelian isn't.
Yes.
I mean, we were black glass atop the mountain, but now we're not, right?
But in our
We're
world,
not.
we
Very
are.
correct.
What?
That's what they told us.
Yes, oh, that's right, yes,
Yeah.
we are statues in Auredane.
Oh yeah!
They told us that when we
Remember
were in the vision.
But
Okay.
does that mean that Lady Carnelian, as Ruby, the sorceress, is just black glass in Auredane?
Heavens no.
So she has two souls?
There's a simpler answer.
2 bodies, 1 soul.
When your friends spoke to Lotan, when they proved themselves before my counterpart by defeating Silverscale in combat.
Oh.
Oh,
Cool.
I'm friends with him. Are they good?
Oh, Silverscale is fine.
Okay, cool.
I had to depose him eventually.
Oh. Okay, continue.
We'll worry about that later.
He will be fine for a while. When they spoke with my counterpart, they learned what they had to do. They had to find Elo before he died.
Okay.
Now, surely you would know, in your world, Elo is already dead. He sacrificed himself to seal the monsters. But you've learned now that that's not the truth. He came here to serve as their jailer.
Yeah.
The answer is much simpler than that. What you call 2 separate worlds are united, just like Lotan and Ratu.
Okay.
Are they mirror images of like overlaid on top of each other? We've noticed that.
The dragon statues begin moving. They spiral along their figure 8 pattern. There is only one line. he says.
I'm too dumb for this.
So, it's the same world?
Yes, you are beginning to realize.
Are we geologically, physically in the same plane?
Indeed.
Okay.
Then getting back is just a matter of crossing physical distance.
Oh no, you are in what was once called Arvix.
Is this in the
Future.
future?
We're so dumb.
500 years
Okay.
in the future.
Oh no.
Oh, time travel.
Okay.
Oh, that's why in the bar they said they'd been there for so long.
Oh no, and then that's why we're black glass back when they were from. We just.
You waited atop that mountain for a very long time.
No.
So everyone we've just been contacting is like dead now?
Now. And the figure eight pattern continues to move about. But now is such a indistinct thing.
Oh god.
It's not indistinct to us. We perceive time very linearly, thank you.
We can't all see 4 dimensions. So how did we get here?
You got here because Renault's magic froze you within the glass. He commands a power similar to the power of the gods, the power to banish creatures beyond time. That is what we did so long ago. That was what happened to me.
The monsters
And
are
the
all
other
banished to
ghosts?
the future.
They simply kicked the problem down the road.
Oh.
You and your friends suffer because the gods were too weak to solve their own problems. They simply let you clean up the mess.
Did Renault know he was banishing us to a different time?
It's hard to say. Personally, I don't know. I have not spoken to the Emperor of this realm.
Where is Renault now?
He is in the city of Marinval.
Even though we killed him in our time,
I mean, he's a lich.
He is a lich.
that's yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
I mean, it's not all right, but
No.
Can we fix this future? This is untenable.
It
Can we
is.
go back
this is
to the
untenable.
Can we go back in time?
There are creatures that can exist along the line in many places. The gods are one of them. Elo is one of them. When the gods chose 3 of themselves to become jailers for the monsters, they also traveled to your Auredane.
When did the name change happen?
There are 3 points that we are speaking of.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
500 years ago, your time, and 500 years prior,
In the first month.
the gods' time. In that time, all 6 of them walked the earth as equals. 3 of them moved to your time, and so that 3 of them live in seclusion, Lotan and I, Astera in her tower, Jothar in his Forge of Light. But, though you think 3 of them are dead, they still exist in your world. Elo exists on the Nortok Steppe, where he is in grave danger. He and all of his angels suffer at the hands of the Godsworn, who have grown unhappy with him. They think that their god, which they served so faithfully, has betrayed them, and Elo is now bound and set to be executed.
Which he already has been in this time.
And should that future come to pass, the Elo that you now see in Kylumbra, red, bloated, growing cancerously, his power overflowing, yes,
So we have to save Elo to help prevent all this.
that would help.
Well,
Lotan has already guided your friends to do the same, to help him in their time.
Sounds like we have to go to Kylumbra.
Okay. Just give me a minute.
That's fine, that's fine.
Why are you telling us all this? Doesn't sound like you really want us to do anything to help.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Perhaps I just wish to see what happens.
And if time's fake, okay, if time's fake,
Time is fake. I think
and
we've
everything
gotten there,
exists at the same time, then how can we change anything? It's already happened.
Deep thoughts.
I know, right?
Tico.
Tico's brain is exploding. Galaxy brain.
He learns one letter, it's T, which stands for time.
There is one thing that's different, and it's all of you.
Yeah, okay, so Renault really fucked that one up.
I think there's more to Renault than you suspect. And the tail of Ratu slithers out from the statue and taps upon the amulet around your neck. And it, ching, there's a little flash. Some sparks flow out of it. And the tail retracts. And he says, very interesting that Astera's oracle gave you those medallions. I think he miscalculated.
In what sense?
Do you know the Emperor's last name?
Renault Evil.
Renault is descended from His Excellency Asheville Marin. The city of Marinval is named for his several great-grandfather.
Wait, who's this?
Asheville Marin, who gave us the thing.
Okay.
He's the High Priest of Astera.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's why everything is
Renault
named after
Marin.
him. I was like, that's too much coincidence. Fuck that.
Um,
Fuck you, Asheville Marin!
yeah, motherfucker. We need to fix his own problems. Ooh, 6 heroes. I'm just gonna gather these 6 randos who are just powerful enough.
Hey, if we kill him in the past, does he...
Does he die in the future?
No, will Renault just kaput? Because the line doesn't go anywhere.
Right, isn't that Back in the Future? So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's like, maybe his
Mara, get him!
maybe it's his sisters
Kill them both!
from, yeah. You know, you thinking Asheville Marin fucks?
Wait,
Like-
yeah, is he a priest? He's a priest.
Yeah.
Hey, if we know anything about priests.
God,
This is something we're going to have to act on if we want to change this world in any way. But before we do that, is there any way you can help us speak to our friends and family?
Unfortunately, that is beyond my power. However, what is within my power is to enhance what you already possess. Those amulets around your neck. You can now use them to transpose yourself in time with your bonded partner.
Bing! I'm out of here!
And suddenly you are in a deep forest somewhere, all alone. You have no idea where you are. You are like, you see pine trees, there's like a deer walking around.
It's mine and it's
You're like,
yours.
where was Zephyr?
Zephyr?
kind of nice here.
And like,
I'm like looking up in the tree. Zephyr?
and so Krona and Tico suddenly, like, Zephyr shows up. Ah, what the hell?
Oh, wait!
What is going on?
Hey!
Oh, it's them.
It's been so long.
Hi.
What is happening?
Oh my God.
I remember.
Who is the dragon?
Oh, it's
That's
so,
Ratu.
We barely understand.
Yeah,
Ratu says, I never met this one.
oh, yeah, this is...
The elf didn't come to Arvix.
Yeah, this is Saranon's BFF forever. Yeah, Sarah heard that she could go see you and popped right out, but I guess she can't because
That
y'all
sucks.
swapped places.
Oh, you can't braid her hair.
I think we need a more permanent solution.
I'm like carving a message into
Yeah.
it.
Are you?
No, I have a better idea. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
Are you able to talk to Mara?
Talk to Mara. No, I went off on my own.
Oh, God damn it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh. All right. So.
I'm sorry. I had something I needed to attend to.
Yeah. Totally understandable. Yeah. Do you have any way of getting word back to those guys?
I mean, I think they're going to Arvix, but that's the last thing
I mean, that's kind of where we are.
We parted ways in Reclamation's Pride. I was somewhere kind of in the east of Blackvault.
Okay.
Well, we can do the same thing, but if they're still together. Are they still together?
I'm not here.
Together?
I'm going to take out like a piece of parchment or whatever.
Yeah, that's what
write
I was gonna
something.
do.
Well, are Mara and Astrid still like together?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if we just do the same thing.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on a second. Kana's gonna start writing something.
No, that's what I was gonna do in the other world. I have my little plant book.
She's like trying to like write on the rocky cave ground, and it's like not good texture.
Yeah.
And she's like, Zephyr, turn around.
Oh.
I start writing on their back. And
Every now and then you hit like a screw in the armor.
yeah. I'm writing a letter to Astrid.
Okay.
And I'm writing about what we found out about Elo here. I'm writing that we're in a future where the gods sworn have executed Elo. That's part of what's caused the future. And I also tell her that the reason I ran away from home when I was a child and, joined up with the Long Arm Theater, the gladiatorial ring, is that my parents, our father and my mother, wanted to commit me to the service of Elo because I was having these dreams full of sunlight and music and, seeing angels and shit. And they, took that as a portent that this was what I was meant to do. And I was not having that as a 7-year-old tiefling who's got a bit of a rebellious streak. So I ran off. And I know that Astrid has great, her faith is unshakable and pure, and she's driven to do good by her patron and her faith in Elo. And I think that together we can help save her god, our god really, and prevent this catastrophic future from happening. And I think we can do it together, and I want her to stay strong, and I want her to know that I feel that my connection with her is stronger than ever.
Krana, that's so sweet. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard you say.
And I hold up the letter, and I'm like, stick it under a rock. I'm like, okay, that was gay. I'm switching.
Oh.
All right. So you and
That was just
yeah, I think it's just here. And all of a sudden, Astrid shows up.
Hi.
He's like, and Astrid's like, what the hell is going on?
Read the letter. I don't know what it says.
What?
Take it. Just get her to take it with you. I don't want her to read it in public.
Oh, okay.
Pretend I said that before I left. I'm like, no,
well,
she just tell her to take it with her. Don't let her look at it in front of her. She's gonna make a scene and smudge her makeup or whatever. It's gonna be ugly. And
I'm just gonna give it to Astrid. Be like, Crown left this for you. I think she said to read it in private.
My mind's getting blown a little right now.
Oh, big mood.
That's a phrase we learned down here.
That's one of the cool things that they say.
Tenebrae slang.
Yeah.
We get it. We've been through the wars. Where am I?
We're in that future.
Yeah,
And
you're
so,
with the rest of the
and so
group.
Astrid looks over at the dragon on the wall, looks over to you. Oh, we have something like that.
Yeah.
Over in the other one. I'm confused.
Just read the letter.
Yeah, the letter will explain everything maybe better than I could.
Okay, should I swap back?
Can you?
Oh yeah, the gold dragon gave that power to us.
Then why didn't you visit us earlier?
It happened like 30 seconds ago. And she's like,
Here's
okay.
Zephyr, by the way.
Like, oh hey, long time no see.
Talk to yourself for a second.
Yeah, we'll wait. You can carry on this whole
Actually,
Scene.
I wanted to ask the dragon something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when a good time to do that is.
Hey, Krona.
Okay.
You are in a room that is almost identical, but there's no red haze anymore. You see, you are suddenly like right in front of Mara, and a halfling who you have never met before, and you can still hear the waterfalls. There's a mighty gold dragon on one side of the room with its claws crossed, and there is a dragon of black glass that is very faintly sort of moving and swaying.
Oh, you! Your brother's got a lot of shit to talk about you.
And both dragon heads kind of side-eye each other, and the gold dragon rumbles, as expected.
Mara looking good. You can talk from off screen or...
Should I talk her off screen? I'm not ready to come on camera. I mean,
Hey, you just want to shout something?
go ahead and just. I think it's easier if you do everyone.
That makes
Okay,
sense. That makes
yeah.
sense to me.
Hey, Mara, looking good.
Thanks. This is a lot, isn't it?
So much.
So you can only switch, huh?
Yeah.
So if you come in here, Astrid's gone.
I think that's for the best, honestly, you know, because then I can, like, talk to her without actually talking to her, and I feel like that's best for everyone. How are you?
I'm okay. We had Mara's like, she is not all busted up and bleeding, but she has like a little aura of just been healed around her.
Okay.
She's got like a couple of scars that are still just like fading into
me too.
her raw skin, and she nods and says, "Yeah, we just beat up General Silverscale, talked to a god.
Okay.
It was
General Silverscale okay?
Yeah, so General Silverscale is like 120 feet away from you. He's on that raised dais in the back of the room, and he's got this like wild ceremonial costume on. It's this huge headdress and stuff, and he looks nothing like the austere military man you've seen before.
Yeah, we didn't have to fight anyone. We just kind of followed a statue underground, rolled up, and the statue told us that we are actually 500 years in the future where y'all are already dead and the future sucks and we have to prevent it. And I think Astro will be coming back here any minute with a letter that explains everything now.
Oh my god, we didn't hear that one. Poof.
Wait, did Mara poof?
No.
Okay.
Suddenly Krona is wrenched back into Tenebrae.
Okay, funny, I guess.
And as you're back,
I'm back.
the red dragon Ratu sort of leans back down and says, before you try and do too much, let me tell you some of the limitations of that power.
Oh, we probably should have heard these ones first.
Yeah, it's still before. It's just like
There and back
leave a
again,
note.
once per day,
Okay.
and for no more than 10 minutes.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Zephyr, you better...
Did I spend all 10 minutes just...
Well, no, Astrid zipped back.
Okay. It's like, that was a short conversation.
Yeah. Zephyr says, boy, I hope Acerenon's, like, ready. I really have no idea what she's up to.
She's probably frantically, looking for you. Maybe crying. There was some crying involved when she first got here.
No, you're right. There's a lot of tears in our little duo.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's almost
crying.
like we're in touch with our feelings. Wow.
that like.
And
Well, wait, Zephyr, while you're here, I wanted to ask Dragon, Rotu. Are the
Ratu.
Ratu. God, that's not how
Avatar
I get
Roku.
this good.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Avatar this whole time, but so are the elves spirits and bodies in asynchronous, like the chronology is off?
Ratu furrows his brow and thinks on this, And he says, that's a very complicated question.
This whole thing has been way too complicated.
What has happened to the elves is that they suffered greatly when the monsters returned. There are many elven spirits in the world at the moment, in the ether, waiting to be reborn. But over the 500 years of destruction that follow the death of Elo and the other two jailer gods, all of the nature that they need to be reborn is destroyed.
Okay.
Can I ask one more thing?
Of course.
How did the Gestalt soul form?
I regret to say that there is magic in place that binds me from answering.
Oh,
You
just like that
too?
guy. Can they snap a god's neck?
No, they cannot. I would like to see him try.
Him.
Renault? No, I'm not here.
You just added
That
words,
power
just
is
like-
beyond Renault. It is the power of the storm itself.
Okay.
That many souls working in tandem under a single consciousness, a high of mind.
Demons?
I regret I cannot confirm or deny anything.
Why do they want it to be a secret?
You can't answer
Can't
that.
say, yeah.
It's useless.
I think we
It's
just gotta
useless.
go to the storm and yell at it.
Well, we gotta go to Kailumbra first.
Of the gods you recognize in Auredane as living,
Uh-huh.
myself.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second, I'm mixed up. Of the gods in Auredane you recognize as living, myself, Astera, and Jothar.
Yeah.
That we are truly destroyed in this time, and our powers have been repurposed.
Okay.
But boost.
You can't say.
Okay. Well, thank you for helping us as much as you could.
I still don't know why.
In the time of Auredane, there was a form of magic, a teleportation circle that linked this city to an outpost, a military outpost in the Nortok Steppe.
Okay.
Today, that place is Kailumbra, but the link still remains. It is how Lady Carnelian has consorted with devils so easily and so frequently.
Okay.
In the palace, in her chambers,
Oh God.
that is where that circle lies. It will save you weeks of arduous journey if you can get there and transport yourself to Kailumbra.
And it goes to an outpost. Will there be guards there?
It is a secret place now. There will be no guards. Lady Carnelian herself likes to keep it secret.
Okay.
And Aceranon is pulled back, and Zephyr is like, "Oh, bye-bye!"
Bye, Zephyr.
So yeah, I was really frantically writing a letter, basically outlining what Krona did, but also being like, I love you and I miss you, and can you tell my parents that I love them and I miss them and oh my god, I miss you, and like tear stains on the page, and like a fistful of the stupid purple grass that I grabbed that like dissolved, and I like ripped the page out and like stick it on the ground.
And put a rock on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then,
She could write a letter.
aww. He can write a lot of
Little
T's, though.
handprint.
Well, I think he's gonna doodle a wolf and put a little heart on it.
Aw.
And
He put that on Astrid's letter, like. just
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Aww, that's
It's
cute.
not a good doodle. But it is
What a
wolf.
nice bear!
Why did he draw a bear?
I think it's a platypus.
Oh, you're back. Oh, this again, huh?
Are you okay?
It was a lot.
Yeah. I knew that shit.
I went there.
Yeah.
Were they?
They were fine.
They came over here.
Oh.
I wrote a letter on their back.
Oh, I wrote them a letter and I put it into a remote.
Oh, I'm sure they'll appreciate that very
good.
much.
Next time you can only do it for 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that
that's
part.
probably why I came back.
Yeah. It's
Sarah
once a day
looked
for
at her
10
watch.
minutes.
Yeah, my Fitbit.
Sarah would have a Fitbit.
You can only do it for 100 steps.
Okay, I do need to wrap this up. My
Yeah.
cat is apparently here.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
And I think that's a good place to wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
We know what we gotta do.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, good game, you guys.
Yay!
Yay! All right. We'll see you next time. Peace.